Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Enjoy Your Stay podcast. Today's guest is the one and only Chloe Babauta Ho. In this episode, we talk about her many creative pursuits, including art and photography. We discuss what it's like getting started and dealing with early onset imposter syndrome. Chloe does a lot, so we talk about a lot. If you're enjoying the show, please like and subscribe on YouTube and Spotify, and follow Enjoy Your Stay on Instagram. Links will be in the show notes. And now, here's my conversation with Chloe. So what I wanted to talk to you about, I guess the obvious thing, because it's right behind you, but I know you do a lot of art, right? You do a lot of different different kinds of art. So talk to me about how you got into just art in general.
Yeah. Well, you may know one of my inspirations intimately. We were just
Yeah.
talking about this right before we hit record.
Yeah.
But I have like prayer cards of your dad on my this is like my little artist studio, and I have like a picture of a few of his pieces at Saga and Couture in Chamorro. And right before we got on recording, I was showing you this little piece that my stepmom Eva printed for me. She made this for like each of us, maybe for like Christmas last year. This is like a big piece of your dad's that I have, or that my dad has hanging up in his house since I was like in high school. So it's been like it's like an iconic piece to me, like our family. But it's in color and it's huge. It would take up like this entire wall, or like twice this entire wall. So it's just really cool. Like I can't ask him now, like about how he did everything and like what his
Yeah. This
process was,
process.
but like, yeah, but it's cool to like see this all gridded up and like a little sketch, and he marked it up on like how he would scale it up. So right now I'm at like the baby drawing stage, like where I have like my tiny pieces, like I have like my little mango that I drew or painted, and I have like little sketches that I'll do with like my ideas of stuff. But my neck, and it was even difficult for me to overcome like the part of me that's like, don't call yourself an artist, like who do you think you are? And okay, honestly though, because because of your dad,
Yeah.
we were just talking about this like a minute ago, but like I was really into art like as a child. I used to love to draw and like paint and like just put little things together. And I remember being super excited to show him because, he's a legend, especially on Guam. He literally had and still has like huge pieces all over the island. Like at the DOE building, if you go there, there's a huge mural taking up an entire wall. If you go to like the hotels, he has huge murals there. If you're driving in Manilao, huge
Yeah. Yeah.
murals.
That,
If you go to the airport, huge murals. So like he's like a living legend. And I was so excited to show my grandpa like a picture that I drew, and he was like, the hands are wrong. Like they would not be pointy like that. And like I was like, oh
Great
shit.
criticism. Yeah.
No, yeah, mind you, I'm like 7 years old, like trying to keep it together, and then like burst into tears when I'm alone with my mom later.
Yeah.
So like even just recently I've been doing this project where like I will draw like ancestors photos like with charcoal, because that's like a new medium I've been exploring since I took a class on Guam just this past fall with my friend Vanessa at the Deer Tree Art Studio. Um I'll show you the first one. This is based on a reference, but then once I started really drawing it, I was like, actually, this looks like my dad.
Oh
Like, I
yeah.
think that,
Yeah.
shoot, I actually fucked it up for a sec, but yeah, I think, I think
That
he
was the
looks similar to
first.
my
That was when you
dad.
did the class.
Yeah, it was my first charcoal drawing.
That's really
Um,
good.
and it's not like I drew it from my brain. Like they
Yeah.
had
An actual photo.
references to look at. Um, it was like another artist's charcoal drawing, but the
Okay.
more I did the details, the more I thought that like Nate thinks it looks like Barack Obama. But I was
You,
like, I think this looks like my dad.
honestly, it kind of looks like a mix of your dad and Barack Obama. When it was in the background, you were
Yeah.
pulling it out. I was like, "Did you do a charcoal drawing of Barack? That's awesome."
Yeah, no, literally Nate's like, why is Barack Obama looking
Yeah.
at us?
But, like
Like I
that
was like, it's my
jawline is
dad.
super sharp. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
But I don't know, something about oh, to get deep, I was like, something about the sad eyes, like, makes me really emotional, and I
Yeah.
don't know. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
but yeah, so that was my first one, and then, I I did, like, a self-portrait recently, and I made the eyes really big and, like, sad, but I think it was, like, indicative of what I was going through recently. Um, and then I did one of your dad based on, like, one of these prayer cards up here. And I like to keep him up there as, like, my little patron saint
Yeah.
of, like, art. And it's funny because like the story I just told and, like, from your personal life experience,
Yeah.
um, he can be a bit of a critic. And,
Yeah, understatement of the year for sure.
yeah, little bit. But, as I was drawing this, I was like, "Oh, this is like my grandpa," but then also part of me is like, he'd be, like, Cassieing me and be like,
Mhm.
"Oh, you think you're the shit, huh?" Or
Yeah.
like,
You
"Oh,
think
so
you're
you
the
think you're
shit,
an
you're just
artist?
shit. Yeah.
Yeah, you're just shit. Yeah, you're a loser and a quitter."
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Wait, tell
there.
tell them what his our family phrase was.
Yeah, the family phrase is, "Babautas aren't quitters, we're losers." And he
Yeah.
always said that, and I think it was never stop trying even if you suck, and, just with a lot of things, and he definitely would tell you just like with the hands thing or your art, he would tell you if you were good or bad, and usually it was you were bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My friend, who actually it's cool because like I have so many friends who took his art classes, and some of them will like come to me with stories. Like my friend Josh said that like if he would come late to class, Grandpa would make him go to the store and buy a cigarette
Yeah,
for him. And then, and then
yeah,
my friend Mariana recently was like, "Oh yeah, like no, it's like your drawing's good, but it's funny because like if you keep working on it, he'll like he'll tell you suck, and then like later on he'll be like, oh, so you're actually kind of an artist, huh?
yeah. Just, like, surprised. Yeah, it's just funny that he
That's
had all
new,
these methods of, you being late, like and he'd always use it as a way to get something in return. You know what I mean? Like the cigarettes kinda thing, so that was hilarious.
right?
But
Hopefully, you could get him back somehow for that little favor.
exactly, yeah, yeah, yeah. Those,
um,
but those drums are really good.
Thank you. Yeah, well, this one was him, and then I'm trying to draw like ancestors, and then next one I did my other grandpa, my mom's dad. I think this one was a little
Oh,
better.
yeah.
I literally just started using this medium, so like I'm still figuring it out as I go along, but it's been really fun for me to like put to just like think about different ancestors, and then I have like a larger project like similar to this. I'm going to start with something small and then figure out how to scale it up, but in a way I'm going to work in all these different portraits into like a bigger thing. So, hopefully someday like years from now, we'll be making a podcast and talking about the big piece that I made.
Yeah, or just throughout, throughout where you're at.
Yeah,
That'd be
yeah,
awesome. So
yeah.
you're doing all different kinds of mediums. What's your
Mhm.
favorite so far?
It's hard to choose because, I don't know if it's like my ADHD brain or what, but like I love to just do a million things at once. Even when I was a kid, it wasn't like I was like, I draw every day and this is all I do. It's just kind of like what I feel like today, and then kind of like honoring that. Yeah, so like I do drawing, I do like painting, I've been doing photography. I was just talking about how I was working with my friend Erlinda, who's a photographer on Guam. She's also Babauta, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't
Okay.
realize that until we were like emailing, and she was like, "I'm also a Babauta," and I was like, "Oh shit, were we like meant to be? Like, are we?
Maybe
Yeah, or
this
like
all worked out. Yeah.
cousins?
Well, shout out
Yeah, maybe we're just
Erlinda. Yeah.
shout out to
Yeah.
Erlinda.
What's
Yeah,
her
early
what's her
shoots,
Instagram name? I know you said she's on Instagram, right?
early shoots.
Early
Yeah,
Shoots.
she's yeah, we just did a photo shoot together when I was on Guam like a few months ago, and I just knew she was like, oh shoot, you can hear my cat crying.
You're fine. You're fine. I have
Um,
the two. I have Huey and Etta, and they're just Huey earlier was just like on my lap, and so if yeah,
oh,
you're good.
okay, maybe I'll just open the door and I'll let him in,
Yeah,
and then
for
he
sure,
can join it.
for sure, of
Yeah.
course.
Oh, his name is Boboy.
But such a tomorrow name.
Well, his name is literally Kobe because My husband is like a Laker fan because he's from Southern California.
Hey, okay.
But we call him Boy. He's
I
coming
love that.
here.
I love that. You know, it's
I'm a
funny.
cat mom of two.
I was gonna name Etta our second cat Agu, and it was short for
Oh,
Aguet.
oh, what? Yeah, I
Mhm.
was like, wait, I don't know that
Oh my
word.
god,
Yeah,
he is handsome. Oh
right?
my
I gave birth to
gosh.
him. That's why
Yeah,
he
I
looks just like his
mean,
mom. Yeah,
if yeah,
you
she
can see the family resemblance.
no, he's so he's so handsome. He's so nice. Like
He
he's
is
so good
really
at like
handsome.
letting you
He's
hold
really
him.
sweet.
How long have you guys had him?
Yeah, we actually found him on the street like maybe like 3 years ago. Somebody posted on the Ring Camera app that like their neighbors moved out and they left him behind. Could you
So
imagine
sad.
leaving this
Yeah.
sweet boy?
But
And so
boy.
immediately we were already wishing for a second cat, so as soon as we
Yeah.
saw that, we're like, "We're fucking going." And then
Yeah.
we just, like, literally drove and picked him up. And he peed in
Yeah.
Nate's car.
Blessing in the
A
blessing the new car. Got it.
little baptism. But he's the sweetest boy in the whole world. And he's very purry.
He's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is
Our
really good. Yeah, you guys know cats really or animals really well,
yeah.
right?
What do you call yeah, with our 2 cats, Hugh and Etta, Huey's a little bit older. We got him, I think, back in, like, 2023, something like that, but
Mhm.
He's Jazz's boy for sure, and so, like, he's always
Aw.
picking him up and, like, snuggling him. When we go to bed, he, like, pushes me aside and sleeps with her.
Yeah.
Etta, we're
Mama's
trying to, like,
boy.
train her to, like, get carried, but she's a little bit more, like,
Yeah.
on edge, but he's really good.
Yeah.
He's really good at being, like, held and stuff. He's not like
Yeah, we got him maybe we kinda guessed he was under a year old when we first got him. So, like, I feel like you have to train cats to, like, to be carried when they're little. Like, our other cat, Kira, I carried her as soon as I got her. She was, like, maybe, like, 11 months, and she just got fixed, so, like, I would just always carry her, and, she loved it, and now she still loves to be carried. Oh, she's right here too, maybe she'll come join.
yeah.
But, yeah, these are my children.
Do one of them do
I gave
you
birth to
Kira
them.
was the other one, right? You said?
Yeah, Kira, she's a tabby. She's off camera right now, but I'm not gonna show you how dirty my room is.
You're good. Yeah, that's why we have it faced a
You can
certain
only
way.
see this little square.
And
Yeah.
whatever comes into frame.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, you can always yeah,
what was
he's
the
fun.
inspiration behind Kira? Any like, is it named after anyone?
Um, my husband's a weeb, and we wanted to use, like, a Japanese name. Um,
Is a weeb? What's
her
a
name is
weeb?
have you never heard of that word before? A weeaboo? It's, like, when you're, like, super into Japanese stuff or in, like, anime.
That's a thing? There's a whole term for
Yeah,
that? Okay. A
yeah.
weeb.
Whoever's watching this, yeah, if you like anime, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Okay, okay.
Um But it's funny because like, he didn't tell me he liked anime until we were dating for, like, 6 months because, like I don't know if you remember this, but, like, at the time, it wasn't, like, cool to like anime.
Yeah,
Like
kinda like closer, like, early 2010s, like, right?
yeah, exactly. That's, like, when it became more, like, socially acceptable, so he
Yeah.
was, like he likes to say he was, like, in the closet about it and, like, wouldn't, like, tell me even
A
though it was, like, a
closeted
huge
weeb?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It was, like, a huge part of his personality. Um, I'm getting, like, a little, like, stuffy because the I'm actually, like, allergic to cats.
Oh, man. But yeah oh, I mean, it's the love for the
Exactly, it's the
cutie, yeah,
love.
for
Yeah,
sure.
I'll put it up for it. I'll put up with it for my babies. So, yeah, like, my nose is already running right now just
Oh,
from
you're good. You're good. Well,
carrying
if you
him.
need to take a break, like I said, we can always stop and
Oh,
go
yeah,
from there.
take a little pause. Actually, like, I'll just go grab a little tissue
Yeah, go for it.
while we're talking about it.
Alright, so we're talking about, your favorite mediums. You don't really have a specific one, right? Because it's you just do, like, a million
Yeah.
different ones kinda thing?
Yeah, I like to do, yeah, photography, drawing, I like to try new things, try different, like even just, like, within different paints. So, last year or maybe, like, 2 years ago I was overcoming my fear of using oil paint because I was like, "This is a real artist's paint,
Mhm.
like, I'm not gonna fuck with that, like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
scary."
Yeah.
Um, I this one actually, I have up here, this brown one is Boboy. Um, but just kind of like the underpainting of it, like, I didn't end up doing the top, but I still think it looks kinda cool. It's unfinished, but I have one, like painting of like fruit. Um, that like I hang in the living room. I thought it would be like I always wanted to have like my own art hanging up around the house. So, I'm slowly trying to make more thoughtful pieces that feel like me and like oh, there's Kara going crazy. That feel like special to me and like my home. Like one project I'm trying to do is like I really like this one space like in Namu Falls, like in the river, like right behind my grandma's house. Um, there's just like one specific spot that I really like. So I was really trying to photograph it and like learn how to use my DSLR camera in a way that like can capture what I see with my eyes like on a camera.
Yeah,
Um, and like learn how to use all the manual settings instead of just doing it auto because like I was also very scared to like learn a
experiment a bit.
new tool. Yeah, like I just have this fear that like I'm not a real artist, so like don't disrespect the medium.
I get that.
But
Yeah, it's kind of like imposter syndrome, but like super early on, right?
yes, exactly, like, it's like, I'm so scared that I don't even wanna try, but then, like, the past few years of me been like, "I know I love this, like, I have this inclination, like, I want to be an artist, but, like, I can't do it unless I literally start somewhere. So, like, let me just do baby steps, like, let me just touch paint.
Yeah, it's
Let
yeah,
me just
exactly.
paint, like, a little bit."
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's a common theme between the two of us is early onset imposter syndrome. Um, because it's a lot of
Yeah, I
that.
wonder who helped with that.
I don't know. I mean, let's call it what it is. But my dad, Grandpa Joe, as he was famously called, definitely instilled a lot, but also, kind of tore us down a bit. I think it was just to make us stronger. But no, I think that's
Yeah, because
that's
if you could face that guy, then you
you
can,
can face
like,
anything.
do
Yeah,
anything,
there's
right?
no one's a harsher
Yeah.
critic than he was for sure. What do you call it? But no, I was gonna say, I think that's a common thing. Is like with me, with whether it's the podcast or whether it was, clothing or whatever it was, right, that I would talk to you about, I'm always
Yeah.
like, oh, there's people that are doing it way better than I am, way more established and they're popular, whatever it is. And so I was scared to try. And it's a lot of that, paralysis by analysis. And I think a lot, you and I
Mhm.
share that, but you doing art, which is a big thing that, Grandpa Joe did, it's almost like how do you step into this space, right? Because somebody in your bloodline has done it to a super high level. And so,
Mhm, mhm.
like you said, don't disrespect the medium or the art. That's how I feel too about like the podcast because your dad has the blog. He also has a podcast now and a YouTube channel. And so I feel like, who am I to go and talk on a mic and camera to
But
people?
do you remember I was telling you this, like, maybe just a few months ago when you were, like, saying that? I was like, "Well, he was literally, like, my age when he started it, and I'm, like, a few years older than you."
Yes. Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
like, he
Yeah.
was just, like, a guy, like, on his computer, like, making a fucking blog, like, who knew what a blog was? Nobody
Yeah.
even knew what that was for, like,
Yeah.
years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you just, like, just do it, and then even for your clothing line and stuff, and you're like, "Oh, so and so is so good at this, so and so is so, like, they're so" I, like, put them up on this pedestal, and I was like, "He's just a fucking guy. He's just a
Yeah.
guy."
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Or you're everyone's just a guy. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
you're
Yeah, that was such good advice, and I think about that a lot actually. I'm fairly early into the podcast, right?
yeah.
This is probably like
No, but
my
you've been killing it.
thank you.
You've
Appreciate
been,
that.
like, doing so many, like, we only just started talking about this maybe, like, a few like, 2 months ago even, but you've made so many already, and every time I see a new one, I'm like, "Damn, Joe's out there doing it."
Yeah, I'm definitely trying. There's definitely roadblocks, and it's tough because I hate hearing myself. I hate seeing myself on camera. And I'm
Same.
just like,
I hate to seeing and
how can
hearing
I
you
set
too.
this up where it's like the no,
I'm just
but
kidding.
but I definitely, I mean, this could
Me
be
and
an
you always
audio.
like
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This could be an audio only episode, if anything. So we don't have to do video. No. Um, but so going back to the early onset imposter syndrome. It's funny because it's a roadblock that we put up for ourselves, and then it makes us not want to try anything. And
Yeah,
we're in our 30s now. I think
yeah.
about a lot. I think about like Kylie. I think about Tyler, and jazz and, how I want to lead by example. And I think
Yeah.
if I'm constantly afraid to do anything, that's an example that I'm setting. And so if I can step out of that fear and actually go and do stuff, even
Yeah.
if I suck, right? But bouncers aren't quitters, we're losers. Um,
Yeah.
I think it's still a good example to set, right, for everybody. So also, respect for you though, because you're trying a lot. There's a lot that I do want to talk about. But let's get back into the art. So you're talking about the photography. Um, what would you say is the most challenging medium to learn?
Most challenging. I feel like they each present their own challenges because, like, it's just like learning a completely new skill for a lot of them. Like, I used to draw a lot when I was a kid, and I used to like to do all this stuff to some extent, but like, I'm finding that, I mean, obviously, there's a big difference in like, oh, I just tried it a little bit. And then I could just be like, well, I just started. It's okay if it sucks. But then, like, if you just keep doing it over time, you're gonna learn, like, where the cracks are. Like, even just between these drawings, like, the first time I did it to, like between, like, 2 of these, I didn't even use any highlights on this one. I just used, like, literally 1, like, charcoal. But then for the next one, I was like, I think there could be more detail. It's almost a little flat. So then for the next one, I was like, let me use more like highlights. So
Yeah,
then
I
there's
see
like
that.
more grays and like you could see like lighter stuff and then darker. But I wouldn't have known how to do any of that if I didn't like keep going. So like I'm learning that the process is in like literally just doing it and keep doing it. So then you can like see where your holes are. Same thing with photography, like, more recently, I've been, like, learning how to do, like, the manual settings on my DSLR, so, like I don't know where it went. Oh, yeah. For, like, this one, I didn't, like, shoot it in black and white, I shot it on color, but then we turned it black and white with a filter. Um, I wanna be able to actually, okay, I will say film is the most difficult medium that I am still like, that's one place where I need to take a little more initiative and like try because I have a very nice film camera. It's like a Canon like A1 something like that, but it's really nice. And I bought it on eBay like when I was still in Guam and I did start shooting film and I actually shot some like nice stuff and I still have them like hanging up in my house. Um they were just really beautiful and so nostalgic to me of, like, when I was working at PDN in, like, 2017, 2018. Um, but then after that, when I left Guam, I had, like, a roll with, like, all my I took so many pictures of my friends, like, right before I left and, like, so many nature shots, so excited to see it, and then when I got it developed, it was blank because, like, I opened it, like, and exposed it to the sun. So, like, I totally fucked up that role, and, like, I was so heartbroken. I was like, "Oh my god,
Man,
like, all
yeah.
my
And those are
memories are
precious,
gone."
yeah, those are precious memories.
Yeah, and I specifically didn't use a phone to take any of those pictures because I was like, "This is it's gonna hit so different."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it was just, like, a real bad sting, and that was literally, like fuck, that was, like, almost 8 years ago, or,
What
like, maybe, like, 6 years ago, and I still
what
haven't, like, played since then.
Oh, wow. So you've just because of that big setback of like, I opened it too soon and I messed up all this footage, it's kind of scarred you and you're like, I don't want to go back right now.
Yeah, and dude, it's expensive. Like, each film
Yeah.
roll is pretty expensive, and, like, I I've told so many people this story too, like, "Oh, yeah, I fucked up one roll," but, like, is that the end of my photography journey?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it is if I let it be, but, like, should I, like, stop? Like, now that I'm speaking it aloud, I'm realizing that, like, that is something that I could use a little courage on, and, like, I do want to go back to it, and then, at my last job, I became pretty good friends with, like, the founder at my company, and I was telling him how much I liked, like, a Fujifilm camera, and I was like, "Oh, I'm really interested in this. What do you think of this if I buy it?" And he was like, "No, no, no, don't buy it." Next day, he shows up and gives me his camera,
Gosh.
like, his Fujifilm camera, and I was like, "Huh? Me?
Yeah.
Like, take this camera?" And
Yeah.
he literally builds cameras and designs cameras. So
Oh,
I was like,
wow.
"Me?
Yeah.
You trust me?" So I have it and, like, sorry, Mr. Kim, but it's been collecting dust on my shelf because, like, I'm scared. I don't wanna, like, disrespect the medium, and, like, here, like, your grand or my grandpa, your dad, is another man who's, like, an expert in his field. He literally makes cameras, and he gives me a camera, and, like, I'm like, "I don't wanna disrespect this man or his tool," but in some ways, I think it is more disrespectful if I don't touch it.
Yeah, if it collects
Like, I
dust.
should pick it up. Yeah, I should pick it up and I should play with it more, but, there's just almost something intimidating about, like, touching the master's tools. Like,
Mhm.
I don't want like, exactly like you said, who am I to, like, use this tool that, like, a great person used? But, um, yeah, I guess like I was just saying a second ago, it's almost more disrespectful for them to, like, gift us with something and then not do something with it, and I think it would be, like to get even deeper, like, it would be disrespectful to, like, ourselves to, like, not oh, boy. It would be disrespectful to
He's, like,
not move
agreeing.
forward with yeah, he's like, "Yeah,
This is
you're right.
disrespectful, pick it
Listen
up.
to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, pick it up." Yeah, so, okay, I think moving forward, I will play with these tools, and next time we talk, I will tell you that I did it.
There you go. Alright, we're to hold you to
Yeah.
that, and
Putting it
the next episode, we're gonna talk about what you've done and the progress you've made.
Yes.
Um, so
Yeah.
and it's funny too because, you're talking about disrespecting the medium or disrespecting, these, the masters, right? Of not using it.
Mhm.
And, they talk too about, like, the muse, right? The muses, right? How the writer shows up and the muse kinda just he just is like a messenger for it, right? And I think
Hmm.
that's part of it, right? We have these ideas in our head, right, or in our heart, whatever it might be, and things we think about a lot and how we want to create, and it is a big disservice to us. It is, I think, a big disservice to others too if we keep it in, right? It's a little bit selfish, but it is scary to open it up. And you and I talked extensively about being vulnerable, right? Putting yourself out there when it comes to creating things, and that's super scary, right? There's a lot of fear because embarrassment, right? It's the internet, and things when you put
Yeah.
things out on the internet, there's a
Yeah.
ton of Jose Babautas out there. They're just going to tear you down, right? And
Yeah.
so it does get scary, but that courage that you find to just do it anyways, and then just the love of it, right? Like you were saying, the love of the game, right? Is important. I think part of it too also comes down to how you say, and even I say, like, "Oh, I'm not an artist," or "Oh, I'm not, a podcaster," or whatever. And it's that sense of identity, right? I think Mark Manson and I think James Clear talk about that of how you need to have your identity changed too, right? In order to really have like a habit or whatever stick. And so if you tell yourself like I'm an artist, I can do this and whatever, and then you prove it to yourself each time you sit down to draw or write or take a photo, whatever it is, you're proving
Yeah.
yourself that yeah, I am this. And every time you run away from it, you're also proving yourself that you're not that. And so it's those decisions you
Hmm.
make. But you're definitely for me, as soon as we you turned on the camera and I saw all the pieces behind you, I was like, "Oh, she's into art." Like, she does
She knows
yeah.
ball.
Yeah, I'm not cool, I don't know sports, but I think that is a saying, right? Just like the weave thing, I
I
don't know.
that's like a no,
Yeah,
I don't know sports either, but,
yeah,
like, I just know that's, like, a phrase now, like, "Oh,
is it?
you
She
know
knows
ball."
oh, okay.
But, yeah, I'm, like, doing that on TikTok, but,
Yeah, okay.
yeah, no, I totally agree and resonate with everything that you just said, like, um, on my Pinterest board, I save pictures for, like, the year of, like, what I want my year to look like, of, like, a woman who's, like, in her artist studio, and all around her are her own pieces. So I was like, I need to fill up my space with pieces, but the only way to do that is, like, literally to make them. So, like, I actually have a lot more than this that I could hang up, but, like, these are just some that I felt like throwing up right now. But the nice thing is that I can always replace them and, like, put up new stuff when, like, it feels right. And, when I turned 30, that was the point when I was like, "Okay, like, no more, like, messing around, like, I'm an artist, I'm gonna be an artist." And, like, literally, like, that birthday, I went to New York with my friends, and, like, I went to the Met, and I brought paper, and I just fucking sketched something alone while I was there, like, waiting for my friends because they were all drunk and they showed up late. But, your 30s.
Yeah.
So, I was
Happy
literally just
birthday.
drawing, and I drew it, and I showed it to my friends, and they're like, "Wow, you did this?" And, like, "This is really good." And I was like, "Thanks."
Yeah.
Like, but the only way you do it is, like, literally doing it, and then that's when I started playing with paint, that's when I started, like, drawing more, taking photography a bit more seriously, like, the only way to learn that too is literally do it. Like, I have a lot of photographer friends, and I'm like, "I respect you so much, like, you and your craft," and they're like, "You just have to do it." So, like, just recently, maybe actually this was, like, a few months ago, but, they're having, like, ICE raids around my community, like, with immigration, and they were having a protest right outside my house, and I was like, "I'm gonna go." Nate was like, "No, it's dangerous, like, don't go out there," and I was like, but this is, like, the journalist in me has to go out there and, like, see what's happening and, like, record this and make sure that, like, somebody is documenting this because, like, what if shit hits the fan and, like, somebody's gotta be there? Um, Especially with the state of news today, like, they might not have, like, an official reporter everywhere, so it's important that, everyday people, go
Step
out
in at
and
least
record
show what's
stuff.
going on, yeah.
Yeah, so I actually did go with my DSLR. I used manual settings. Like I took pictures of people with their signs. I was like mindful not to get people's faces in it if they'd ask me. Um, but it was really cool like being on the ground and like just photographing people. Those I've sat on for a bit because they're kind of I mean, it's an emotionally heavy topic and I wanted to post them when I had something to say, but I guess there again, that's me finding a sticky point where like I did do the work, but the next step is as an artist, like I was reading this book about it's called like On Writing About Art, um about like what is art? Like is it literally just like creating something? But part of it is like being in conversation with people and like putting something out there that people can interact with and that makes it that I mean it's all subjective but like some people believe that that also makes it art because like if I just hang some stuff on my wall like if a tree falls in the woods is it art like
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it is art, but I have been trying also to like, okay, one, make it, and then when I feel ready, or even when I don't feel ready, maybe just like put it out there. I have like an art account where I'll post like some of my drawings and paintings. Even if I know it's like I'm like, oh, this isn't my best work. Like I don't want anyone to see it. Part of me is just like, just fucking put it out there and like get used to it. Get used to people seeing you and like this very vulnerable, like you said, part of you. And I think the exposure to that is also another tool or like another, like, muscle I need to strengthen is, like, getting used to some oh, your little cat in the
Oh,
back.
yeah. Yeah, and they're also playing with the blinds there to peek. We usually have the blinds open, but for today, just because of the light being too bright,
Oh,
I had to close it, so they
yeah.
kind of peek. So if you do
They're
see
playing.
yeah, if you do
Oh,
see
I
the
have
blinds
been
moving
noticing, but I wasn't thinking that much about it.
yeah, 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 so
Oh,
they're there, but, yeah, no, so going back to what you were
cat
saying, the
world.
cat yeah, cat owners.
Yeah, but, yeah, no, I get really distracted, I love cats, but, um, yeah, just, like, gotta strengthen that muscle of getting, like, exposure to people, and, like, you're doing that right now too, like, with your podcast, like you're putting yourself out there even though you're like, "Oh, I don't know if I'm good enough," but literally just doing it and, like, the more you keep doing it, like, you become a podcaster, and you already are by already putting it out. So, I think it's really cool, and, like, I love our relationship that we can really support each other and, I see you putting it out there, like, I see you with your ropes.
Yeah, yeah,
Like yeah, same thing with, like, me and, like, rock climbing and yoga, like, maybe I'm not, like, the best I am now, but it's really cool to think, like, maybe someday when we're, like, 40, 50, like, we're gonna look back and we'll be like, "That was baby us when we were 30." Like, doing, like,
yeah,
the littlest version and, like, you're not gonna get to, like, the Zen habits or, like, the Joe Bobout or the Jose Babauta level if you don't start somewhere, and, like, they started somewhere too.
yeah.
Like, harder to remember that sometimes when you only see, like, the end product.
It definitely is. It's definitely especially with social media because, I'm kinda back into it these last few months and
Yeah, it's
seeing
been, like, new for you to come back
to come back.
into.
Yeah, for sure, but I forget how much of social media is just the highlight reel, and
Totally,
so
yeah.
I will work kind of in the background, and then once they've really perfected something, then they put it out there. And I think there are people that do show the journey, right? Kind of like the early stage and then that progression. But you already that's, them almost like 2 steps ahead of you, right? And so we're still on like day 1 kind of thing, and it does get really intimidating. Um, I was gonna say too, when it comes to posting stuff, right? Like you mentioned, like your art account and just posting things. Same with the podcast. Like the episodes, as I'm recording them, as I'm editing them, I find little things that I'm like, "Ooh, I don't like this, I don't like that." And then I say, "Screw it, I'm gonna post it." And I post it and it's pretty
Yeah.
well received. And I'm like, "Okay, that's not that bad." Like the episode that comes out next week, with Cam, who Cam because you said he and Nate used to play basketball. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't like the way I looked in that, I didn't like the way that I was with the camera. I just thought it was the lighting was terrible, all of this stuff. And I told Jazz, I was like, I don't want to really, I might want to redo this episode. She's like, no, just edit it, see where it goes. And as I was editing it, I was like, oh, it's not that bad. And
Yeah.
but as I'm
And
putting,
also, like, the thing about that is, like, nobody knows what you think it's gonna be except for you. Like, I wouldn't know
yeah,
that, like, what, like, your final product in your brain is, but, like, similar to my drawings, you're not gonna find out where, like, perfection is until you, like, keep doing it, and, like, you could tweak from there, like, maybe Cam's episode, the lighting wasn't great, but then this episode, use the lamp, or, like,
yeah,
you rearrange what you were supposed to do or what you wished you could have done last time, but, like, I think just, like, the incremental progress is,
yeah.
important.
It is important, and that's what I was gonna say is, like, as you post it and you put it out there, feedback is a huge thing. Yeah, there's a criticism from, my dad of like, "Oh, your hands are, the hands suck," right?
Yeah.
But there's also that constructive criticism of like, "Oh, you know, how about this instead?" And, maybe you
Mm,
can,
mhm.
change this a little bit, and it does help because it's feedback that you might otherwise be blind to, right? Because you're so focused
Yeah.
on certain aspects that you forget kind of the whole picture, right? You kind of it's like you miss the forest for the trees, right? And so
Yeah.
and I think when you
And
mentioned
nobody is exempt from criticism.
for sure. And
Even recently, I saw my dad's TikTok, and I, like, gave him,
your
like,
dad
an
has a
essay on
TikTok?
what he could Yeah, he
Oh
does,
my
he came up in, like, the
gosh.
people I may know, and,
Yeah,
I mean, I think that's great
that's
because, like,
awesome.
he's in his 50s, and he's exploring a whole new social
Just
media
side of it. Yep.
platform
Mhm.
so he can keep growing, and, like, I really applaud him for that, but at the same time, I was like, "He doesn't really know how to do this, so I'm gonna give him some feedback on, like, how I think he could improve." Because like, I think there's some good raw material there, but I was like, "Hey, dad, I love that you're doing this, but this, and this, I think you could improve, and it could help you a lot." And he didn't say anything for a few days, but then when he did, he was like, "Thank you, like, it seems like you know what you're doing, and, like, obviously I don't, so, like, I'll, like, take this in consideration, and, like, I'll keep going." And I was like, "Yeah, like, you totally got this." But, like, nobody's perfect, and, like, everybody has ways that they could grow, even, like, the people who we think of as, like, legends.
Yeah. It's funny because I was watching an episode of his, or a video of his on YouTube, and I was reading some of the comments, and a lot of people were saying, like, Leo's the OG minimalist, and,
Yeah.
there's all these people that talk about minimalism, but it's all fluff, and I was like, "Wow, he really goes that far back." Because I think he started his blog, in 2007,
Like,
somewhere around there.
2007,
Yeah,
yeah.
somewhere around
Yeah.
there, so it's been, closer to 20 years, but it's cool to see that, like, how he's at the height of it, and then people are commenting saying how he's one of the OGs, so just how long he's been doing it from where he started to where he is now. So that's really cool, but it is nice to see that even at the level he's at, that there's still improvements, like you said, right? And exploring different mediums.
Yeah. There's always ways for us to grow and, like, to try new things, and, like, even him after, like, 20 years of being, like, an OG and, like, building experience, like, he can still be a beginner, and, like, he can still face the fear of putting yourself out there, like, in a whole new platform. Like, he doesn't know these people or, like, what they're gonna say, and people do criticize him. So but he's puts himself out there anyway, and we deserve the same shot, and, like, we'll never know what we could have done if we didn't try. Like, people didn't even know what the fuck a blog was. Like, he coulda just stopped there.
Yeah. Like
You're like, "Yeah, you're right.
like a
I don't know
book?
either."
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
no one knows, yeah. No, yeah,
Yeah, who knows? I don't know. Yeah.
we talked pretty recently, and he was saying I was telling him, 'cause I told him about the podcast, and he asked how I was doing. I was like, "Oh, I'm, really liking it. I have a couple episodes out, but I'm so focused on, like, the numbers, right? I'm so focused on how certain things, like, land in terms of, like, likes and followers and all of these things." And he's like, "Yeah, I get that, and I've definitely been there." And he goes, I was so focused on he told me that he was so focused on if the needle was moving, that it was taken away
Mm.
from him actually doing the things that move the needle. And that was a really good piece of advice because I was like, "Oh, okay. If I put something out there and I wait for the feedback, I wait for the likes to come in, and I expect, a certain amount of likes or whatever, um, it's I'm focused on the wrong thing, right? And instead of focusing on, oh, how many likes did this post get or that post got, I should focus on, well, let's continue to make good quality content and put it out there." And so it's interesting to see that from his level of like, yeah, I've also experienced that, you know.
Something else that just talking about this reminds me too, I have also been trying to grow on TikTok because I feel like I was gonna say MySpace. Ooh. I feel like
Thanks for
Instagram.
aging us. Yeah.
I know, dude. Actually, funny thing, me and Sam were just watching those videos on my YouTube channel of
Mm.
like, remember when me and Tiara hacked your
I
MySpace
was just
and then
once you
like you
brought up
got
most of
so
yeah,
pissed?
you put
Yeah.
pictures of shirtless Zac Efron pictures.
Exactly,
I
and then,
hated you
like,
guys for that.
we changed your username, and then we, like, said all kinds of, like, stuff in your about me, and then, like, we made a video, like, me and Tiara about, like on, like, my, Windows, like, movie maker, and, we were like, "We're so sorry, Joe, like, we're
Yeah.
sorry we did this." But it's so funny because 'cause we're not really sorry at all, and, like, we're actually just listing all the funny things we did, and we're like, "We're sorry we did this," but it's, like, also, like, it was really funny, like
Yeah. We had a good time. Yeah. I remember
yeah,
seeing
I
that
mean, it
and
was really
hating you.
fun, but we're
Yeah.
sorry, yeah.
To be fair though, to be fair, it was a really funny joke because I think a lot of people, like your dad, was doing that if they left their like if Anna or
Yeah,
whoever
yeah,
left
yeah.
their
If
stuff
somebody
in,
left their Facebook
they would
open,
they would
he'd
hack
like
it and
be like, "I haven't showered in days."
yeah,
Like,
yeah, my butt is itchy,
so we
all
had
of
some
this
good
stuff.
role models.
We did for
Yeah.
sure. But it's funny because yeah, you guys put shirtless pictures of Zac Efron and I hated it, but now it's not that bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're like, "He was
Like,
kinda hot."
yeah, it's
Yeah.
it works. I think would voluntarily make that my MySpace background, but who knows?
Yeah.
But anyway, so you're trying to grow on TikTok.
Yeah, so but I found that Instagram is kind of like a rough space sometimes because, like, I don't know if it's the algorithm or maybe people, like I don't know what it is, but I am getting much less engagement than I used to, like, when maybe even like 5 to 8 years ago, like people like so many people comment on my stuff.
Like the
Um
pre-TikTok era, basically.
yeah, yeah, and then like before they changed like the algorithm, so like now we're getting a lot of like sponsored posts or like ads or like celebrity stuff, like, I feel like that all comes up on my feed instantly, and then, like, people I actually know, their stuff will come up, like, days later, so, like, maybe I'll see, like, your post, like, 5 days after it comes out. So it's not like that we hate each other, it's just sometimes I think, like, the algorithm isn't great at pushing the stuff that, like, I actually wanna see.
Yeah.
Um but anyway, so I haven't been feeling great posting stuff on Instagram because, like, sometimes I feel like, "Oh, okay, y'all fucking hate me." Like
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
"Alright, you all want me to die, huh?" Like,
yeah. Yeah.
you all would love that, wouldn't
Yeah,
you?
yeah, yeah.
So, but on TikTok, it actually pushes stuff out to not just the people who you follow and who follow you, but, like, total strangers who are interested in the things that you also like. So, or people who you do know, but who haven't found your profile yet. I don't know what it is, but the algorithm like is I like it the way it works better than Instagram right now. So I used to be a very casual TikTok user. Like maybe I'll make like a funny video every now and then if I think of an idea every few months, or like I'll post a little outfit vid or like a little vlog. But it's very casual. So maybe I have like 200 followers. It's just people I know pretty much. And then my friend Sam Montenegro, she has like 50,000 TikTok followers, and she actually makes like a few $100s a month on the app from like, yeah, from like, I think like TikTok Shop or like, um, I forgot exactly how she makes it, but like as a creator. And like she works fucking every day to put content out and like make stuff that's like personal to her, but then also like trending stuff. And then also like trying to work with more brands to like create like sponsored content. And like the more time I spend with her, the more I feel inspired because like I like to try to keep people around who inspire me in different ways. Like, even like you, like, I like how you're a beginner and like you're trying and you put yourself out there. So, like, that kind of energy to me is infectious. So, I try to keep people around who inspire me in different ways. And like Sam inspires me in so many different ways, but one in particular is TikTok. So like when we're together, she's always fucking filming. She's making content, she's not gonna post it today, but she will have it lined up so that she can post it later. And like I also love creating video content. Like we are just saying, I used to do YouTube like so many years ago, and I was always doing it because it was fun, and I just loved it. It's not like we could make money on YouTube back then. It was just because I thought it was funny, and like it was something I like to do with family and friends. Um, and then even like I've always come back to video. Like I used to do like a daily vlog at PDN,
I remember those,
and
yeah.
yeah, so just like me and video, like we just get along, and
Yep.
it's just ever since I was a kid too, I like to like record stuff and like talk on camera. That's like another medium I love. And for a long time, I stopped because like I was just kind of going through a more private, like hermit type of space in my life where I just wanted to enjoy my life, and I just got married, and like I was also going through like a rough time because I've been laid off of a job maybe like 2 years ago, and that was like a huge like gut punch to me and like something huge like really I didn't expect. So I didn't really feel like putting myself out there online for a bit, but I was still recording myself like day to day doing like my life and like making little vlogs for nobody to see because I didn't feel comfortable putting it out there yet.
Just the headspace wasn't
But
there.
yeah, this goes yeah, exactly. But like going back to like everything we've just been talking about, like more recently I've been like, it would be a disservice to my fans to not
Yeah,
but, like,
I like the way you say that, yeah.
I say that
No
jokingly,
followers,
but
yeah.
actually, like, the more I actually have been putting stuff out, like, it's actually been, like, rousing conversation and, like, my loyal,
Fans.
like, my niche following, like, people who I know in real life, but, like, who, like I've created this persona for myself similar to my dad where he's, like, the OG of minimalism. I'm, like not to, like, be like, "Oh, tooting my own horn," but, like, I'm, like, kind of like the OG of, like, being a big sister advice type of
Mm,
stuff. Because like, I used to do, like, Love Screwed, my old blog,
remember that.
um
Crazy.
yeah, where I'd, like, write advice to, like, younger me, my younger sisters, younger women, and then I would post super vulnerably on Instagram for, like, years. I'd post about, like, everything I was going through, and, like, I was going through depression, I was going through anxiety, I, like, was taking new meds, like, I think I was oversharing, but, like, I think it was actually super relatable to people because, like, the more I put myself out there, the more people will come back to me and be like, this hits, like, I've never heard anybody talk about this, and, like, I don't feel alone anymore." And that really kept me going. And then I hit a place where I was like, I actually don't want to tell everybody everything I've ever gone through right now.
Yeah, there does come that I think it's that balance between, like, authenticity and performative, right? When you put
Yeah, exactly. Where I wasn't really sure what that line was anymore. Like, if I'm like, am I posting this just so that I can get like attention from people and like get this dopamine of like, people love me, people like relate to me. But then I started trying to like ground down more of my real life relationships and like, I can't just be posting all the time. Like, I need to like these one-on-one
pay
connections are
attention.
actually more important.
Hmm.
Yeah, like, I need to text people back and not post so much. Um, so I'm very mindful about that, like, I'm try to be, like, authentic and, like, show up for my real life connections first, and then when I have more space, then I'll post publicly, and then, like, because it's like my public audience is secondary to me, like, my real people are number 1. Um, but
Sorry,
now on
fans.
TikTok, I have been Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, sorry, fans.
Sorry, fans.
Yeah,
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 sorry,
yeah.
fans. It's been a while. It's been a while,
It's been
but
a
we're
minute,
back.
but it's coming back, yeah.
It's been a minute. But it has been actually really fun because I'm like, you know what? It doesn't have to be anything. It doesn't have to be a big deal. Like, it doesn't have to be like I like content and like everyone's gonna follow me because it's not about that. Like, it's not about like moving the needle, like my dad said. It's like, what kind of stuff do I actually want to make because it's fun and like what would I like to see? So I just like started making like I was like, okay, I went thrifting in Japan. Here's all the stuff I got. And then I'm just like talking to a camera because it's fun. And then, like, people actually really like that. Like, if you're not doing it because, like, okay, guys, like, this is a sponsored post, and like, I'm gonna do this because, like, I have a
I'm
brand
selling
deal.
you something, yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't have any shit like that. Like, I'm just literally like a person. Like, I'm just like, this is fun. Like, this is really cute. And like, just being me on camera. And then, but like with TikTok, like, you have to post literally every day to get any traction. And like, for so long, I
So
was getting no fucking
saturated,
traction.
yeah, of
Yeah,
content.
exactly. And then also, like, if you wanna get, like, noticed by its algorithm, like, you have to, like, be present and show up, and then also it's probably trying to get us addicted as well so that we keep showing up.
Yeah, yeah.
But actually it's been really good knowing that that's, like, part of its rules. Like, it's actually gotten me to show up literally every fucking day for, like, 60
You
days.
gotta pay to
Like,
play.
I've been fucking posting, and, like, some days it's a total flop. Like,
Yeah,
I'll get, like 0 likes or, like, maybe, like, 13 views, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, you all want me to die." Like,
yeah,
"You all hate me.
yeah,
Got it."
yeah.
Um, but the way that the algorithm works, though, is it'll, like, push stuff to people way later. So, like, even if I posted something, like, 2 months ago, my friends will only just see it now. So, like, if you keep putting shit out, like, eventually people will see it, and, like, it's just kind of more like a slow burn. But I will say some of my videos have, like, blown up. Like, I posted this video of Kira drinking pho, like,
Oh,
soup,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and it has, like, 130,000 views, and then, like, I don't know, like, 20,000 likes, and, like, so many comments of people being like, "Oh, this is so cute," or,
It's
like, Vietnamese
insane.
things.
Okay.
Yeah, just, like, random stuff, but, the fun stuff for me has been, like, I've been trying to explore my own personal style, so it's another artistic medium to me, like, um, finding, like, what looks good on me, like, what, I like to express my personality, like, what outfits I can put together, because like, I will say I mean, do you remember me cross-dressing when I was, like, in high school?
A little bit, yeah, yeah. I mean, to be fair,
Like, I would dress, like, up like a guy.
yeah, 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 yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, no, and I like to do that, like, a lot, and, like, I didn't realize that that wasn't normal until, like, way later, and I was like, "You guys didn't do that? Like, people
Wait,
don't
not
just do that?
everybody
Like, you
just
don't just."
wore opposite gender clothes? Like, I thought that was a thing.
Yeah, you didn't, like, draw a little mustache on and have, like, a whole alter ego,
Yeah.
Adam
A
Camacho? Like,
persona,
you
yeah.
guys didn't. Yeah, like, you didn't make a MySpace account for the guy version of you and
You
pretend
made
to
a
hit on all your
MySpace
friends?
you did that?
Yeah, Adam Camacho was his name, and then, like, I had so many pictures, dude, of me, like, a guy, um, I was, like, pretending to, like, kiss my friends, like, because I was at all-girls school, so I've been really exploring my gender identity through clothes, and,
And
like, I'm finding that I have a very androgynous style, like, obviously, I can dress up very feminine. I can, like, do nails. I, like, can dress up, like, really girly, do makeup. But I'm finding that I feel most comfortable in kind of like a mix of, like, both. Like, maybe some of me is, like, I'll wear, like, a loose, like, gender neutral shirt, and then I'll have lipstick, and then, like, I'll have, like, jewelry. Um, but I also like really, like, loose, relaxed fitting clothing. Um So, like, making videos and putting my style out there, like, in little outfit videos has been really useful to me to, like, really hone in on, like, who I am through the medium of clothing. And
right.
then, like, people respond to that, and then, like, people will be interested in it, and then, like, it's also very affirming for people to be like, "Yeah, like, this is different, and, like, maybe it's not what, like, we would have thought of you, but it's really cool." And, and, like, finding community in other people who are similar to me or, like, finding affirmation in, like, people I know in real life who are like, "Yeah, this is really cool," and you don't have to just be, like, a girly girl to,
Yeah.
be, like, accepted in society.
Yeah, yeah, I like that. It's I think that's part of it too, right? Because you mentioned you find other people that are into that. So you kinda find that community by putting yourself out there, right? There's
Yeah.
there is that difference of being a consumer versus being a creator. And yeah, the algorithm can feed you stuff, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, whatever it is. But also as a creator, you put stuff out there and then you, I guess, naturally gravitate towards others that are like that. You find your niche. And it's kind of similar. Like, I know you mentioned, we could talk about it too if you want, but like, bouldering, right? You're doing a
Yeah,
little bit of
yeah.
that, right? There's a huge community in that, right? Or whatever it might be. You put yourself out there, you try something new, and then you just meet people. And so it's really cool that
Yeah.
you found that in terms of like fashion, right?
Yeah, exactly, and, it's also a very, like, freeing space because, like, it's non-judgmental, like, more often than the haters are gonna be like, "You're a stupid lady." You're, like, gonna get the people who are like, "Wow, this is really cool. I like your style," or like,
Positive.
"Oh, I like the way that you put this together." Yeah, I don't know what it is, but it pushes stuff out to people who like what you like more often than people who don't like what you like, um, and then, like whereas Instagram is, like, everybody who knows me in real life pretty much. Like, everyone I've known since, like, elementary school to now and, like, family friends. Like, maybe I don't feel as comfortable, and then, like, my husband's, um, boss and, like, all his colleagues. Like, it's it's more like I'm, like, a real person there, and
Okay,
it's almost
versus
feels
this
more like
persona.
PR.
Okay.
Yeah, versus, like, I can be who I actually am without, like, worrying about the ramifications it would have on my social life or, like, the way people perceive me who know me in real life. Like, maybe I don't wanna be perceived, like,
Yeah.
uh,
I get that.
for everything that I am by everybody I know at once.
Yeah. There's also something about putting things out for total strangers, right? Versus people that do know you. Because that's where it does get, I think it is a little bit more freeing because it's like, what does that person's opinion really matter to me? I don't know them at all. Versus like,
Also, like, they don't have a perceived, like, view of you,
yeah, you're
whereas,
also a total
like,
stranger.
maybe everybody you know yeah, yeah, everybody you know will all, like, be like, "Oh, Joe is like this. This isn't Joe. This is weird." Or,
What
like,
is this?
it's almost like it opens, like, a whole different sphere of, like, possibility for judgment, although, like, maybe that's just a pessimistic way of looking at it. Maybe it's also, like I mean, maybe I don't think for you, people are like, "Oh, like, what is he doing with this podcast?" I think more like they'd probably be happy to see you since you've been, like, not on social media as much for a while, so they're probably just curious about, like, what you're up to.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but maybe for
That's,
me personally, I start to think more about, like, who does she think she is type.
I
But,
get that.
yeah, maybe that's just, like, the critics in my head.
Yeah, I mean, I think it could be a mix of both because it's almost like, if you drinking such a sociably and this is a weird kind of pivot, but like drinking, right? Alcohol is a very socially acceptable thing. And you go to the bar, you go to the club, and you drink with your friends. You have such great times, take all these photos and videos, and then one day you're like, I'm actually going to stop drinking. And then sometimes you find that like you don't have anything in common with those same people you drink, your drinking buddies, And that's really all there were. And so it's in that same way of like you were a drinker and that's how you guys connected. You're pushing this narrative or you've put out this narrative of like, oh, whether it's like Love Screwed or whether it's the YouTube or whether it's whatever, right? You've put out this and people are used to seeing you like this. And then you try to do this
Mm.
identity change a bit, right? Of like, oh, well, I also want to express myself artistically, right? In all these mediums. And people are like, but that's not Chloe. And then it starts to sort of like divide things, right? But nonetheless, I think I commend you for even though you've been online, right, this whole time, all these years, you still have the courage to actually go and put something out and try something new, even though it's not that preconceived idea that others have of you, right? You're okay to change things a bit. So that's something I think that you should be proud of for sure.
Thank you. Thanks, Joe. Yeah, that is really sweet to hear, and yeah, and as you're saying it aloud, like, it's hard to see my own story. I'm really good at telling other people their stories because I can see people in their fullness, and that's, like I think that's a gift of mine that I like to share with people, but sometimes I don't really see, like, my story all laid out and, like, because, like, we are a bit older and I have been online for a really long time, it's funny to think about all these different projects and, like, maybe people have been following me for that whole time, like, could know me through that. But I guess I will say now that we're talking about it, I think that the people who are like, identify with me or like to follow me for this or that reason, most of the time I don't think it's because of like one thing like I want her for this. I think it's just more like I'm like what's she up to? Like she's kind of interesting and weird or like different. Like
Yeah, it's you as
like
a
let's see what
whole.
she's up to. Yeah, it's not like, oh, I follow her for this or that because like I said before, like I've never been the I just do one thing type of person. I do a million things. And then maybe like that will expose different people to like
All these
whatever thing
sides
I'm
of
into
you.
right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, yeah, they're
Yeah.
following you for you and all of you, not just, like you said, just as one part of like, oh, she posts, her outfits of the day, or she posts, these really funny TikTok videos. Like, they like you as, for everything. Speaking of trying new things, I do wanna talk about recently, you've been doing yoga teacher training, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk
Yeah.
talk to me about that.
Yeah, thanks for asking. It's I'm doing a 200-hour teacher training and it's been a pretty intense experience for me, like highs and lows. Yeah, so it's basically it's been like an 8-week in-person training where we go I'm doing it at Core Power. So like they might have some Core Powers near you, but it's basically like they have locations all over the states. Um it's like 2 days a week in person, and each session is 3.5 hours, and then we have, like, 2 intensive weekends where it's, like, 8-hour days, like, it's a weekend, 8 hours each day, and we have 2 of those. So and then on top of that, we have, like, 3.5 hours every Saturday of, like, online learning, and then throughout the week, we have lectures that we gotta watch and, like, do journals on that we have to submit, and on top of that, we have to take 50 yoga classes.
This is
So,
an
like
intense course, alright.
yeah, it's 200 hours, but really it's more than 200 hours because it's all the homework that I gotta do in between and then all the, like, recovery on my body and then, like, the change that it makes on, like, in my home life and in our home
Yeah,
routine.
your schedule.
It caused a little stress. Yeah, in our schedule, like, first week, I was, like, getting mad at Nate because he was, like, playing video games in the time that I wanted to spend, but, like, I didn't tell him that.
Yeah.
So I was like, "I guess I'll just see you next weekend."
Yeah,
He was
yeah,
like, "I didn't know you were going to class right now," like
yeah.
but, that we worked it out, we figured out a way, and then, like, now we have, like, a good amount of time together. We probably even spend more time together, like, more thoughtful time because it's more limited. Um, and then, like, my body's exhausted from all this, like I'm literally doing hundreds of push-ups a week, like,
Yeah,
that I wasn't doing before,
beforehand, yeah.
and, like yeah, so, like, I mean, it's nice, like, I've been feeling, like, really strong in my body, and, like, it's cool because, even leading up to this, like, I've been doing, like, a lot of Pilates and, like, bouldering, like we're talking about, and, just, like, walking a bunch, which, like, that was another thing that I had to overcome in my 30s, like, yeah, I don't know if you remember this about me, but I was just, like, never athletic, and, like, I just, like, wasn't good at sports, like, um just, like, super skinny and, like, physically pretty weak, um, and I also think maybe it's because, like, I didn't have anybody, like, coaching me or, like, being like, "Oh, no, you can do this," or, like, "Let's work on it together," like, I had people my parents were really encouraging in different ways, but, like, not I don't know, it was, like, a gendered thing, but, like, for my brother Rain, like, he was always super encouraged to play soccer, and he was so good at that. I was just never, like, good at soccer, but I also kinda think that it's because like, nobody really, like, helped me. But as an ad I mean, whatever, that's my childhood, it's past, but as an adult, I was like, "You know what? I do want to feel good in my body, and I do wanna have motion and, like, physical activity that makes me feel strong and good." And, I'd done a bit of, like, weightlifting when I was, like, in my 20s with my parents and, like, high intensity interval training workouts, but I I just fell into this way where, like, I was just naturally skinny for a lot of my life, so I didn't have to work out very much, but as I started, like, coming to my mid-20s, I was like, "Oh, fuck, like, I can just gain weight," like, it just, like,
It's
it
not the
won't stop.
same. Don't
Yeah, it's
stop.
not the same,
Yeah.
and, like, I can't just eat whatever I want all the
Yep.
time.
The habits that served you
Um,
back then are not the same habits that are gonna serve you now, for sure.
totally, I can't just, like, eat like shit, I can't just eat, like, gummy, like, candy and, like, Hot Cheetos and, like,
Yeah, it's not a
McDonald's.
sustainable diet anymore. Who knew?
Yeah, and now I feel like shit inside.
Yeah, yeah, it's fun.
But
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say
yeah, no, yeah, it's funny.
it's funny that you mentioned that about getting older because now that I'm now 30, I remember back in, like, middle school, high school, like, after school, I would just eat a Hot Pocket and, like, a kimchi bowl and watch TV and
Right?
be
Literally, like,
fine.
itchy band.
Yeah, be totally fine,
Yeah.
like, not worry about it. I don't eat those things nowadays, but what I remember in, like, recent years when I have tried, like, a Hot Pocket or kimchi bowl, I'm like, "This sucks." Like, it's the juice is not worth the squeeze, like, how did like, I felt so
Totally.
sluggish and just, it hits you so much different as you're older, but it's yeah, it's interesting that, like you said, your whole life, you're naturally skinny, didn't really have to do much, and now that you're, like, mid-20s, now you're in your early 30s, it's like, now I actually
Yeah.
have to do things to maintain it, but continue, though, with the yoga training, so how's that going?
Yeah, so, yeah, I think I'm now in a place where, like, I am actually able to take it on because, like, I physically am fit enough to, like, be able to do all this, and it's been, like, really nice in my body, and, yeah, now I'm able to take it on, and it's been really, like, emotionally challenging in some ways because part of me was like, "You know what? This is hard. I don't wanna do this. I just don't wanna do it. I'm not gonna go." But, like, it was an expensive program, so, like, I put in the investment early on and, like, I can't let Nate down and, like, I can't, like, let me down and be like, "Oh, you know what? I tried this, but I'm not gonna do it." Because I actually did try to do a yoga teacher training, like, in 2020. I signed up for one online, but then I got a job and I was like, I don't have room for this training right now. I gotta grind down and, like, do this job because 'cause I've been looking for, like, a good marketing job for a while. Finally got one, and I was like, "Okay, I gotta focus on this." And it was also kind of like a convenient excuse to not push forward with something that was making me nervous, and I also had these, like, voices in my head from, like, people I knew in real life, and then also from me being like, "You can't do this, like, you're
Your
not a
thing.
yoga teacher."
Yeah, you're not
Yeah, it's
Cat.
not your thing.
Yeah, you're not Cat. Cat's the yoga teacher.
Yeah, yes, exactly, like, yeah, more masters in the family who, like she never said that to me,
No, yeah.
and I never was like, "Oh, I can't be it because she is," but just more like, "Yeah, here's another master in my family, how could I ever compare? How could I ever, like, measure up and, like, be who she is?" Which has actually been interesting too because she and I have been, like, getting closer too because we have this shared,
Oh, okay.
like, passion,
Yeah.
and Sam, your niece slash my
Cousin,
cousin,
yeah.
we were talking about this and how, like, I was like, "I just see your mom as, like, such a master, and she's been doing this for, like, 15 years, and, like, I just, like I have her voice in my head, but, like, in a positive way." Like, I think I try to embody, like, that, like, she's very confident and strong and, like, very, like, even toned. I don't know what it is, but she's just very, like
Very calm too.
yeah, like, she has this really great energy that she brings to her classes and that, like, I try to emulate, but, like, in my own style, and, sometimes I'm just like, "How the fuck can I, like, be like her? Like, how can I get there?
Yeah.
Like, was she ever like me?" So, like, I'd ask her, like, "Were you afraid of stuff?" And then even Sam was like, like, when my mom first started, she taught me her first class, and she just kept stumbling, and she didn't, like, really know what she was saying sometimes, and I was thinking, "Oh my god, can she do this?"
Yeah, it's
Which is funny.
yeah, it's interesting
Yeah,
too
go
because
ahead.
I remember when she first started, I think it was just, like, group training, she would do classes over at Aston Park.
Yes, I remember,
Yeah,
yeah, we'd
and
go.
yeah, I would go, and I remember I went, I think, to, like, 1 or 2, and I remember my dad went, and he was just smoked from doing it, but, yeah, I think I don't really know the whole journey for her, but I think she had done that before she really got into the yoga training, right?
Yeah, yeah, she was already doing, like, like, HIIT workouts, for a while before she did yoga, but, like, it was really nice to hear that, like, they start similar how I was like, my dad was just, like, a guy in his like,
Yeah.
on his computer,
Mhm.
and he had, like, 6 kids, and he was just like, "Let me just try to do this."
Yeah.
Um, like, in the meantime, and, like, on his, like, it was a janky ass computer too that he started with. Like, it was, like, the kind that was, like, this big in the back, and then, like,
Oh,
it was
yeah,
our
yeah,
shared family computer,
yeah.
and it had a tower. It was
Mhm.
probably the one that we used for MySpace, honestly,
Yeah,
downloading on
like a
LimeWire.
PC with a monitor in the tower, yeah.
No, literally, yeah. That's what we used me and you used to use MySpace on, but, yeah, just to hear even Auntie Kat, like, she is, like, my picture of, like she's, like, my patron saint of yoga, and I'm like, maybe someday I can, like, be like her, like, up on the like, like, up like her, but, just knowing that she started somewhere was, like, really cool, and then, like, I talked to her on the phone, and I was like, "How did you, like, make it through this? Like, how could you do this? And, like, how did you, like, get from there to there? Like, from where I'm starting, and, like, were you scared?" And, she gave me, like, lots of useful tips, like, if you don't wanna feel intimidated by, like, teaching, like, people who are super experienced at yoga, you could, like, um, she started going to, like, different gyms, like a jujitsu gym, and she was like, "Do you guys need a yoga teacher?" And she worked for, like, very little money, I guess, she said. But it was basically just, like, for her to gain experience, and then, like, teaching people who don't necessarily know yoga is, like, a different skill in itself because, you have to, like, cue them up really well for them to understand, like, what they're doing. But, so I think I am gonna try that because, like, they have yoga classes at my rock climbing gym that I went to, and it's very chill there, and core power is, like, they want you to teach a super specific way so that at any core power you teach at in the States,
Consistent.
like exactly. So if you go to this core power class, you're gonna know what to expect. Whereas, like, if you take Auntie Kat's class, she can make it whatever she wants for that day, and that's what I'm used to. But I kind of like core power style because it's like, if you teach me just, like, the formulas and, like, such a rigid way, then I'm gonna have this in my toolbox so that wherever I go, I can have this super strong foundation, but I'll be able to tweak it in whatever way it makes sense to me.
Yeah, you're building that base, so you have that to fall back on for sure. I do wanna ask you 2
Yeah.
different things or 2 different questions. So the first one is, we talked a lot already about, these masters in their crafts, right? Of they're so established, they're influencing us, right? But it also is kind of discouraging because they're so up there, we're so down here. How do we bridge that gap? Have you ever thought about you yourself being, I guess, that influence to others that are even further beginning in their journey? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is a great question because I think about that a lot when I spend time with especially my sister Noelle, 'cause, we're 13 years apart, and we're very similar in age, like, I mean, in age and, like, personality, like, I'm the oldest of the family, she's the youngest, but we have very similar personalities, and my dad's always like, your face looks so much not like Noelle when you do that," or, like, he says that all the time to her too, or, like, "You're just so similar in these different ways," and, like, we're both very driven, like, like, quick and, like, funny, and, we can also, like, grind down and be very serious about like, what we want and our goals. So, like, I get a lot out of my relationship with her, like, we talk on the phone at least once a week, and, we text each other all week too, and, like, I try to make sure that she keeps up with her goals, and, like, it's been really nice growing in this relationship with her because, like, she reminds me so much of myself when I was her age, and, like, for a while, I didn't really have compassion for my past self, and I would be like, "You get your shit together," and, like, be super, like, rough and, like, not very compassionate, but, like, for her, like, she's, like, my baby, and, like, I, like, helped raise her since she was, like, born. So, like, I just have a lot of, like, love and, like, compassion for her in my heart. So, like, if like, recently, she's been struggling to turn in some of her assignments on time, because of her own stuff that she's going through, so, like, I really commend her for, like, trying anyway, even though things are hard and, like, it's not like things are so easy for her and she could just turn in her assignments, like, it's whatever. Um, Same thing for me when I was her age, like, I had a lot that I was going through personally that made it difficult for me to focus on school and, like, keep to my goals, and I think she sees me as, like, "Oh, like, Coco, she's, like, up here and, like, she's graduated from this college, she's, like, successful in this, and this way, and, like, she's had all these accomplishments," so I think she sees me like that, um but, like, I keep trying to remind her, or, like, when I was your age, I didn't have any of that, like, I was just like you, and, like, I struggled too, and even, like, with writing, she turned in this assignment, and I thought it was really good, but she was like, "Oh, yeah, thanks, I just kinda wrote whatever I had in my head, and I just didn't like, I just turned it in." And I was like, "Totally, like, when I was your age, I'd do that too." Like, I'd just literally write it the night it was due,
Yeah.
and then, like, throw in whatever I
Not think
had
too much
because I was
about it.
like,
Mhm.
yeah, just like, "Okay, well, I mean, it's done." And then I was like, "You know what? I'm so good. I'm like, I procrastinate, but I always get it done." Like, I just had this, like, mentality where I was like, nothing's
Something.
too hard for me. Like,
Yeah.
I could just do it that night.
Yeah.
But really, it was actually kind of like a way for me to avoid the discomfort of, like, possibly knowing that I'm actually not that good.
Discovering more about yourself, right? And revealing that
Yeah,
onset.
like, maybe if I in time and, like, put in effort, then I would've, like, produced something even better, but, the way I would look at it is, like, if I don't really try, I can't really fail, right? I can't really, like, if I didn't put in that much effort, then, like, you'll never know if I'm actually good or bad.
Yeah, that's true. It's that fear of failure, and it shows up in a lot of ways. And if you don't try, did you really fail? Right, like you said.
Yeah, exactly, and that was my mindset, but, like, now that I'm in yoga training, for example, like, I could have done that so many times. I could have just been like, "Ah, I'll just do it on the day of. We'll just see what comes out." And then, like, I can't really fail because I didn't really try. But this time I'm like, "You know what? I actually do wanna try. I wanna make sure that I show up there and I feel good because I don't wanna do this to Chloe." I don't want to let her like, as if I've been trying to reparent myself in so many ways, like, I'm the adult and the child at the same time, like, I don't wanna go to class and be like, "Oh, I didn't do my homework," like, and let me just, like, be there in shame and, like, just fucking throw out whatever I've got, but, like, I deserve better than that. Like, I deserve to show up with, like, preparation, and I deserve to feel confident. I deserve to come there and be like, "I got this shit," and, like, show everybody what I've really got, if I actually tried.
Yeah, you
So,
definitely have
like,
that big sister energy, right? For you, Noelle, where you're really looking out for her. You help raise
yeah.
her. Um, yeah, I do want. So the second thing I want to ask is, have you ever read the book? It's by Stephen Pressfield. It's called The War of Art.
No, I haven't.
Have you heard of it? It's actually a really good book. I think it'll help with what we're talking about. Um, basically, he I forgot what year it came out. It came out a long time ago, but I've heard about it, read it last year, and it was really, really good. But he talks about the resistance with capital R and how when you want to create anything, right? He's a writer, but when you want to create anything in general, there's all this resistance. There's resistance in many forms, right? Whether it's procrastination, whether it's, you know, external resistance, but he talks about all the different ways it shows up and how to overcome it. And all these things we're telling ourselves of, oh, well, if I don't try, I'm not going to really fail, or how am I going to be as good as this person, right? The comparison thing. It's all forms of resistance. And it's all this, the big part of it is overcoming it and allowing yourself to just show up, like you're saying, show up and just do the work. And even doubt, right? All of those things. But there are forms of resistance, and it's a really insightful book. Yeah, if you haven't read it, definitely read it. I think it's going to help with a lot of what you're going through, and it's something
Mm.
I recently rediscovered along this journey of podcasting and stuff. Of it's scary, and there's a lot of reasons to not wanna do it, you know? I don't like being online that much, I don't like being on social media, even if I've been doing it for a few months again. It's scary, it's scary, it's exhausting, and it just takes up a lot of my time that I otherwise don't want to direct there. But those are all forms of resistance for me, and so I'm rereading the book, and I'm just telling myself like, "Oh, yeah, there's all these examples where resistance shows up in my life, not just for the podcast, but for other things." And it's like, it really is a big war against it. So definitely a good book
Okay, nice. Yeah, thank you for the rec.
for
That
sure.
that does like that message resonates with like a lot of like yeah, what I've been going through, a lot of
Yeah,
resistance.
awesome. All right. And then what I want to talk about now are the two questions that I asked you earlier, right? And so, first question is, what does a good life look like to you?
Hmm. A good life to me is a balance. of doing all the things that, like, makes your heart soar and, like, gives you, like, that sense of fulfillment and, like, your passion. But also, like, spending with people you love and being grounded and, like, having time, to, like, reset your nervous system, like, that's been really important to me, like, feeling grounded and not, like, so scattered. Um, and getting to f take on challenges and surpass them and build confidence over time, um, and just, like, get to do all the things that, like yeah, like what this podcast is about, getting to do all the things that would give your life meaning and that you'd feel like if I died tomorrow, like, I'd be pretty okay. I've been, like, feeling that more lately, like, I am pretty happy with my life and, like, if I died tomorrow, like, at least I know I did this, this, and this. So, like, trying to live a life where you have that sense of balance and fulfillment is, like, an ideal life to me.
That's a really good answer because it talks about how, like you said, a lot of what we're already going through, right? With the art, with the podcast of putting yourself out there,
Challenges.
challenges, and really meeting them head on. Um, you did talk about, if you died tomorrow, this is kind of how I want to live my life. What does a good day look like to you?
Hmm. I've been really lucky lately, since I it's funny to say this, like, I've been really lucky since I lost my job. It didn't feel like that at first.
Yeah,
My dad was like, "What if this could be the best thing that ever happened to you?" And I was like, "Dude, shut up. Like, can I cry
just
for,
lost
like,
my job. Yeah,
2 weeks?"
yeah,
Yeah, like, I literally just lost my job. Can I, like, cry a little bit before, like, you say, "What if this is the best thing that ever happened to you?" But, like, looking back 2 years later, it actually was great because, like, um, I don't think I would have ever quit because I'm a Babauta, and I'm a loser,
we're
not a
losers,
quitter. I
not
don't
quitters.
quit. Yeah, so, like, I didn't ever wanna quit a job that, like, was making good like, decent money and, like, I felt good about myself, like, being productive, but, it actually like, having no control over that situation forced me to slow down a lot and, like, reset my nervous system, like, um, figure out who I am outside of work because I used to be a very, like, I am what I do. But now I've been trying to shift that into like, who am I? And like the things that I do are a reflection of that, but they're not everything. And like, I want to be a good person. So like, to me, a good day looks like having the space to wake up when you feel like it and like move about slowly in the morning if you can and like not have like so much outside noise and just kind of like be in your own head and like make tea in the morning, have, like, a good hearty breakfast, that's been good to me, and then, like, clean my house. Actually, like, I was always so messy growing up, but, like, it feels really nice now to have, like, a clean home and, like, to sit down and be like, "Yeah, it's, like, it's clean and I feel comfortable." And, like, my house all feels like me and it's my safe place. Um, and then do work during the day that feels, like, if you can, fulfilling, if not, at least fulfilling in that it gives you money to do the things that you do love. Because not everybody has, like, a choice over those things. And for me, like, I like to have physical activity during the day, so, like, whether that's yoga, bouldering, walking, Pilates, um, spending time in nature is ideal too because, I don't wanna be a gray person, like, I wanna be a brown person.
You talk
Uh,
about being outside, really.
yeah, and then just, like yeah, I feel, like, fulfilled when I'm in the sun and, like, when I can, like, see the sky and, like, put my feet on the ground. Those are all good things to me, and then, like, having nutritious meals because 'cause we're 30 plus and we can't just eat Hot Pocket and Ichiban. So, it feels good to, like, cook a good meal for me and Nate so that, like, when we eat, I'm like, "Yeah, I feel fulfilled, like, I'm taking care of both of us, and, like, this is, like, a to sustain our life together." Um then cleaning again so that, like, I feel, like, all settled and then,
Cookies.
like, maybe watching a little TV show. Um, like, spending time together, quality time, just talking about our days, and then, like, um, having some time to journal is nice too and make a little art if I can. Not every day is gonna look like that. Um, And then going to bed grounded, like, I try to, like, have, like, a nice long nighttime routine where, like, I shower, do my face, and, like, wind down and put my legs up on the wall to, like, draw blood down so that I feel relaxed. Like, sleep with my cats. So, yeah, that's an ideal day for me. Maybe, like, hang out with a friend too or talk to someone on the phone is really nice.
Well, it doesn't seem like it's this expensive, far out there kind of thing for you to have a good day, right? It seems like most days actually can probably be a good day, right?
Yeah, yeah, and, like, especially during this yoga training and, like, having, like, a challenge every day and, like, something that I can work towards has been really fulfilling and, like, all that stuff in combination makes it a good day for me. And even if, like, here or there, like, maybe I didn't hit every mark or I didn't check every box, like, there's still tomorrow.
Yeah. That's a beautiful answer. I like it.
Yeah.
So talk to me about marketing. I know you've been doing that for a number of years, right?
Yeah, after I was at PDN, I moved back to California, and I moved to, like, the Orange County area, which is where, like, Nate's from. And, because we wanted to eventually, like, settle down here and, like, be able to raise our, like, future kids around here where he grew up. And, after I finished at PDN, I needed to do something, like, that made some money and that, like, I could do. So, like, marketing was, like, the made the most sense. And actually, that was coming off the heels of, like, Mega Haga Rising. Um, my, like, company that I did for a bit with, like, my friend, where we made those shirts that says, like, "The future's Famalaan." And, we had, like, Island Girl Magic. So that was, like, kinda like my first foray into marketing as well, like, for myself. Um, and I really enjoyed it. It was really fun to, like, have, like, our own little, like, clothing line or, like, t-shirt line and brand, and then do all the, like, photo shoots for that, and then, like, the marketing push for those things. It was really fun, and I wanted to do something similar, and, like, writing is a good transition to, like, marketing because you do a lot of, like, copy editing, copywriting, um, and I was able to find a job at kinda like a small startup. It was a good stepping stone for sure, but then after that, I found the job that I was, a full-time job in, like, dental imaging marketing. Basically, like, we, marketed, and, like, the company made like, when you go to the dentist and you get, like, X-rays taken, and they put, like, the sensor in your mouth? So, like, that's, like, the product that we made and marketed. So, like, I market to dentists, and then, like, they made, like, cloud imaging software for, like that, like, dentists could use, to keep all their images in the cloud. Um, but it was a small company, and I got to use, like, all of my skills there, like, I could do writing, copy editing, copywriting, video, like, talking on video, um, recording video of other people, and then, like, in-person marketing, like, at, um like, event booths, and, like, building relationships, going to conferences. So, like I was saying earlier, I like to do everything. So it was, like, a good since it was a small company, it was a good space for me to, like, just do everything. Um, yeah, and then, like, it was a really great experience for me to gain more experience and, like, skills, in marketing. And then after that, yeah, like, I got laid off from that job, because of the economy and, like, what are you gonna do about that? But it gave me space to, like, figure out what my next step was gonna be, um, and, after that, I started working I did, like, a couple articles at PDN again, because, like, that was something safe that I could return to, and I still enjoyed writing, and it was cool to be able to do that even abroad. Um And I found myself writing about artists or, like, about authors, which is also inspiring because it, like, pushed me more to do my own stuff after, like I just, like, surround myself with people who do things that I wanna do, and, just knowing real people and, like, hearing their real stories, I'm like, "Oh, they're a person too." Like, it always
Yeah.
comes back to they're just a guy.
There's the
I'm like,
guy.
"I could do
Yeah.
that too." Yeah, so, like, these people, like, these are amazing people, and they've done really cool stuff, but at the end of the day, they're just a person, and, like, I could do that stuff too. Um, so I've been I just kind of put it out there in my LinkedIn. I was like, oh, I didn't expect to get laid off, but like, here I am. Anyone want to work with me?
Best thing with a
It
resume.
was, yeah, right, Dad. I worded it better than that, obviously. But then like Ariel Lowe, I think you guys went to high school together
Yeah, she's I
at
believe a
GW. She's
grade
like
above
two.
me, or
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say a year
yeah,
or two
something
above
like
because I think she might be my year. But we were friends in growing up on Guam too. Um, and she recently, maybe not like a couple of years ago, published her first poetry book. She was always into like slam poetry and like
yeah,
writing. Yeah, yeah, like her, and then like you remember like Nikki Quintanilla?
yeah. That's actually one of my friends I went to school with as well. She's going to be on the podcast. I'm doing an episode with her next week. So
Okay, that's awesome. She's
yeah,
also
yeah,
like my relative on my stepdad's side.
we're all related. Yeah,
Yeah, I know. Like literally everybody in your podcast, like I already know too,
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
much. Um, Either they're directly my family member or we're friends in some way. Guam, but yeah. So Ariel reached out to me and she was like, "Oh, I see you're like a marketing professional. Like, I actually need marketing help." And I was like, "Oh, awesome."
Yeah.
So we started like building more of a relationship, like a professional relationship where we talk on the phone like every few weeks. And then like she'd tell me what her needs were. And I'd be like, "Oh, actually, I do all of that." And like she'd be like, "What? You do this? Like, you can make a website and like you can help me strategize on like how to put myself out there more and like how to create more of like a tour experience for myself because she was going to be out in LA for a conference. And I was like, "Oh, well, while you're here, you should use your time to like hit up all these different bookstores and like see if they'll stock your book, see if they'll like host a reading so that you could build more community, like not just with like Chamorros, but like other Pacific Islanders or other indigenous communities." And obviously credit to her because she did a lot of the work on her own, but I think I was just more like a friend. Like that's kind of like the vibe that I bring to like the professional relationship is like I just kind of want to be like a friend who can be like, "Oh, um like if I hear your story, I get like really excited and like I start getting like
All these
ideas and like
ideas.
buzzing." Yeah, so like I'll be like, "You should do this and this, and I'll help you do this and this." Like most of the time they can do a lot of the stuff on their own, but I can just provide like the excitement and then also like the ideas and then I can do the things that I can do. Like I built her website and she gave me like a bunch of different ideas of like, "Oh, I like this author's website and like I like this about this website and this." So I was like, "Okay, totally can do that." So I put it together and then she'll give me some refinements and then I'll like put something together based on her budget. Um and then when she was out here, I like attended an event in person with her and she was like there's like a little Q&A portion and then I asked a question that basically teed her up to like talk more about her work. And I was
Cool.
like trying
Yeah.
to just be an anonymous person and just be like, "Oh." And then she was like, "Oh, well, Chloe's my marketing professional." I was like, "Oh, you didn't have to say that." Like
Was it? Were you,
I was
oh, you
just
should
gonna
have
be like an
gone as
anonymous
Adam
person.
Kamachev.
Right? I should
Yeah.
have. That's a good idea actually. It's gonna give me a space to like play with more of my creative fashion pursuits. Yeah, my gender play. Yeah. Be like an anonymous guy. Be like, "Who's Chloe? I don't know
Yeah.
her."
Yeah. And use a clearly
Yeah.
fake drawn on
Yeah,
mustache.
like a little drawn on mustache. It's just like
It's
yours.
peach fuzz. Well, to be fair, I recently shaved, so this is just coming back. But
All
yeah,
right. Just
I
kidding.
am Adam. This has been
I
going on for
can,
years, actually.
I actually want to be you
Just wear the hat. You know what's funny?
this whole time.
I remember in like early high school, I was really into like the pop punk emo scene. I
Emo
really was
style, yeah.
into like skinny jeans and all that. I remember there was a time I
Yep.
wore your skinny jeans because we were the same size,
Because
apparently.
we were like the same size, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It
Good
just goes to
times,
show
yeah. Now
how you wore mine now.
I'll just get as buff as you and then I'll wear your shirts.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm definitely not buff. You got the
Yeah.
looseness. And this is a loose shirt that I'm wearing for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay, so Ariel is your first real client, right? On your own? Can it
Yeah, so I'm working with her and then like I worked a little bit with like my cousin Ryan. Do you remember Ryan Reginden? He's Ava's nephew. You got actually maybe you haven't interacted, but he I think he might have gone to GW for a little bit. Anyway, he and I are the same age and he's doing this really cool work starting his own nonprofit on Guam. Um where like he used to work in Colorado with like nonprofits that would make sustainable hiking trails around just like different areas of Colorado. And he used to travel a lot and do stuff like build hiking trails sustainably, like that makes sense for the ecosystem and um aren't going to disrupt uh yeah, like the natural environment and make it more accessible for people to be able uh to enjoy nature in their area.
Yeah, encourage them to go
So
out
right,
and to hike.
exactly. And then his wife is a doctor, like a medical doctor, and she works with like a lot of clients who or like a lot of patients who need to get more outdoors time. So it's like really cool to like see them both work like towards like health initiatives on Guam. So he's just like trying to um get his organization off the ground. I haven't done like too much with him, but like in the earlier days like I gave him like a lot of ideas about like what he could do for like um program materials and like he could meet with and like try to help out a little in that way. Um but yeah, I mean I haven't like worked with too many clients. Like it's still like super budding for me because like I have my hands in a lot of other projects. But um yeah, speaking of other I've been like working with people from Guam, but then I'm also trying to transition that into like local work.
Okay,
And then we were
interesting.
talking a bit about Ape Coffee. Um Yeah, so, funny enough, like, another photographer friend of mine, like, I have so many photographer friends, um, his name is Francisco. He worked with, or he did my friend's wedding, he shot their photos, and he was, like, really good at marketing himself, so, like, he knew I just got engaged, so he was, like, working me the whole time and being like, "Oh," basically, like, "I should be your wedding photographer," and he, like, sent me pictures of me and Nate, and I was like, "Oh, these are really good." Um so then, yeah, like, he totally won me over real fast, and, like, his style is really great. He does, like, film, and digital, but, like, the way he shoots film, it, like, really feels like you're, in the '90s, and we really wanted that vibe for
Gotcha.
our wedding photos.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause, we're both '90s babies, and, we had our wedding at, it's, like, popular for Vietnamese people to do that in this area, have a wedding at, like, a Chinese restaurant where you have, like a big multi-course, like, seafood dinner, and then, like, it's, like, in a restaurant, and then, like, you have, like, a super lit party, but that's, like, what Nate grew up going to, like, weddings like that, so he always, like, wanted a wedding like that. So we wanted it to capture it in, like, that, like, kinda '90s style, and, even, like, the decor in there is, like, kind of, um, not in a mean way, but it's, like, a little outdated, it's not very modern, I guess I'd say. But, that also fed into the vibe of, like, it feeling
Time,
like a
yeah.
'90s. Yeah, so,
Cool.
anyway, so Francisco is the right person to do that. Um, yeah, maybe I'll, like, tag him in the comments if,
Yeah, we'll
you end up
definitely
posting
shout him
this
out.
portion of it. Yeah,
Francisco
Francisco
and
Gonzalez.
Ape Coffee, right?
Yeah, so, me and Francisco became friends. He shot my engagement photos and my wedding photos, and then we just, like, became friends, and he knows that I'm been opening myself up to more modeling, opportunities, and, like, I try to do a bit of modeling here and there. Um, he is friends with the owner of Ape Coffee, which is, like, a coffee shop in Orange County and, like, in my area. Um, they have, like, a couple locations, like, right near me and then, like, one a little, like, few miles away. Um they wanted to create, like, a vibe of their coffee shop, not just like, "Oh, like, here's a picture of coffee and, like, here's our specials." Like, they wanted to create something that's these almost feel like ads for something else, and it's not just coffee, like, it's
Okay.
like a lifestyle.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
really encompassing the whole. Yeah.
Yeah, like, the vibe and then, like, the vibe of, like, this place and, like, being young and, like,
It's
it's
like a
like a
hangout
space for
versus just a
artists.
coffee shop.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a hub for community, and they really, especially Francisco, like, he created that, through, like, his photo and video, like, marketing campaign, basically, and, he asked me to come by to, like, just, like, shoot some pictures of me drinking matcha, and I brought my friend Sam with me when just, like, the TikTok,
Oh,
work.
okay, yeah, yeah. Mhm.
She doesn't just do TikTok, by the way. She's like a huge boss at like this huge company, and she's like a big director. Like she manages like a team of like 60 people. And she has like a bioengineering degree. She's like really smart and accomplished. So like she doesn't just do TikTok.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just shout
What
out to Sam.
started shout
Yeah.
out to Sam, not just the TikTok, but everything. She's got a lot going
Yeah,
on.
like she's not just a TikTok. Yeah, she's got a lot going on. She really inspires me as a professional. Um, just to credit her, and
Yeah.
she has great style too, and she's beautiful. So, um, yeah, just love Sam. Um, but what's it called? So Abe Coffee, Francisco invited me to shoot with them. And we had a great time. And like, I started to become friends with like the owner, and then like a lot of like the people who work there. They're like super cool. A lot of people are pretty young. They have people of all ages there. Um, and like artists just like to come and hang out there and like draw stuff or like work on your computer. Families come. There's always a line out the door, and like the coffee and the pastries are really good. Like super like high quality, and like the service is so great. Like they actually like remember you and know you, and like just super sweet. And yeah, I really like the vibe. There's nothing like it in this area. Kind of reminds me of on Guam, like how there'll be different spots where like they really build community and like everybody knows each other.
Yeah. I think for Guam, at least from my my perspective, is something like that is a coffee slut. And
Yeah, Coffee
they
Sled is a
really
great, yeah,
they
great
really
comparison. It is
build
a lot
that.
like Coffee
There
Sled.
is a lot of creatives that go there. They do a lot of events and stuff. And quality of the product is, phenomenal. So is the service.
Yeah. Yeah, you used to like spend so much I remember we used to hang out there together, and it was right
Yep.
across from Synergy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's like a lot of good spots like that. I think like Slow Walk is doing that now too, and like Solid Grounds. So these are like newer coffee shops that have just opened up in the past few years.
Oh, cool.
Um and then like a Sika. Yeah, there's like a bunch of good spots on Guam that create that vibe. And like a lot of young creatives like to come by. But yeah, so I've honestly been looking for like a sense of community since I moved to Orange County, and like I have been here for like 6 years now, but like the pandemic was part of it, and then like I was living with my in-laws for a while, so like I wasn't really branching out on my own. But Abe Coffee has been like a really cool spot where I was able to meet like a lot of other creatives, and I was like, oh wow, like you people are
You exist.
like me, and like yeah,
Yeah.
no, totally, because like I kind of didn't know, and like I did it's really difficult to meet friends as an adult. Um, so Ape Coffee's been like a great spot for that. I'm also trying to win some marketing work with them. They're not like an official client, but like I have been doing work with them. Um, and then like putting myself out there with Francisco to like other coffee shops to like, get my name out there. Um, but in the meantime, I just kind of enjoy doing like some work for free. Like I've done like several modeling shoots with them, and they recently asked me to be the first guest on their podcast. Um,
Okay. Here we go.
yeah, they
Making
haven't put the
moves. Yeah.
yeah, they haven't put the episode out yet, but basically like they wanted somebody to interview the owner so that like people could get to know the coffee shop better, and like the person behind the brand. Um Yeah, so his name is Chad. He's like a really cool guy too. He's founded like multiple companies on his own. Um, he also didn't grow up with much, and like was able to like work to fund this coffee shop on his own with his own money that he made. Um,
Shout out to Chad.
uh, yeah, totally. Like it's he grinds. Like he's like always working and like always thinking of new
Just
ideas.
coffee.
He's like
Yeah.
yeah, totally. And he doesn't even need coffee, but he has like really like like fast energy, and like he's just
Million
like talking,
miles an
talking,
hour.
talking.
Yeah.
Totally,
Okay.
and, like, but it's infectious to be around, and he's, like, a good people person, like, he's, like, really listening, and, makes you feel like he's, like, really engaging with you,
Yeah. Make you
and
feel
he's a
heard.
great people person. Yeah, totally, so, it was great meeting him the first time. I already, like, got so excited, I was like, "You know what? I'm about to do yoga training, like, we should do a yoga collab, like, where, like, I teach yoga and you guys, like, serve matcha." So, like, I'm coming up with all these ideas because he just has, like, this,
Yeah.
"Oh, I wanna do something," type of like, he doesn't even need the coffee. Um, but, Yeah, so we did like a podcast interview, and Francisco like wanted to pick somebody to interview him who like is good on camera and like who can just like ask him questions and like just be genuinely curious and like yeah, I think they're still putting it together. And I also helped them advertise for like they're having like a block party
Wow, they're
where
throwing events too, not just a place to get together.
yeah, and like creating events so that people can get together. So like where like vendors can like sell their stuff and community members can come together and like hang out and get to know each other. And he specifically hires people to work at his coffee shop who are really like personable and like if you can have a good conversation like and you're like a hard worker, he'll hire you.
Like they're very selective.
Um
Yeah.
yeah. But I will say my one issue I'm having with like putting myself out there as a marketer is like knowing your worth and like establishing
Rates and
like your
stuff, right?
value. Yeah, cuz like I set a high price on my work because, like, fortunately, I'm in a place where, like, I don't need to lower my value to get hired just to like make some money because like Nate works really hard and like takes care of me. So like I don't have to be like, okay, I'll just like work like I'll set my thing super low so that anybody can hire me and I can have like a bunch of clients. Um Obviously respect to people who grind hard and like bring on as many clients as they can. Like I totally respect that. And getting more experience totally. But I'm at a place right now where I'm trying to like
You can be a little bit more
de-stress and
selective
like
of what you're
yeah,
pursuing.
exactly. I'm in a super privileged position where I can be super selective about who I work with. So, like, some people will be like, "Oh, you're pretty expensive." I'm like, "Yeah, I am. I have like 13 years of experience in like so many different fields that like would be useful to you." And like, if I'm gonna work with a project, it's gonna have to be worth my time as well. Like, I'm not just gonna work with like whoever. Um, so, like, as I'm listing my clients, I don't have that many, but it's because it also has to be a super good fit. Like, I'm not just gonna work for somebody who's gonna treat me like shit and be like, "Oh, I don't care about your ideas." Like, if you're gonna work with me, it's because you really want me
It's the
and, like,
quality
my
over the
ideas.
quantity.
Yeah, totally. So, like, I'm okay with, building my client base over time, and, like, I think well, right now, my focus like, I don't talk about it, like, super publicly, but, like, my focus right now is, like, fertility, and, like, we're trying to have a baby. And like I'm a person who carries a lot of stress in my body regarding work for better or for worse. Like, I'm a good worker. I will make sure everything is on time if not really. But that also comes at the expense of my physical health. So I carry a lot of that stress in my body and right now I'm at a place where like I need to ground down and focus on my family if I want to have a family. Um so I'm okay right now with not taking on as many clients as I probably could,
Tipping the
in the hopes that,
scales
like, I
more
can.
towards the family side.
Exactly, and I know that, like, some people are like, "Oh, I'd be scared to, like, not work for a while because, like, what if I couldn't get back into it?" Or even me, I was like, "What if I have to compete with literally everybody who's younger than me and been working longer than me this whole time?" But instead of having that scarcity mindset where I'm like, "I can't do it. I gotta compete. I gotta have and I gotta keep
Yeah.
grinding." I used to have
Just
that mindset,
grab what you
totally.
can, time's limited, take what you can.
Exactly, but over time, I've switched that mentality to, I actually can do a lot, and I have my whole life. Like, even just in this podcast, I've talked about all these different projects that I've done professionally and for fun. I'm not somebody who just like lies on their ass all day. Like I like to do stuff and I'm constantly growing whether or not it's like for one company or like for specific clients. Like I'm always learning and growing and I'm the kind of person who like if I set my mind to something I can have it. So like I don't doubt that someday when I'm ready and after I have like my children and I feel like I can take a step back from my family a bit more, that I will be able to find like the right clients for me who will value my experience and who will like be understanding that like I did take time to have a family and like I didn't work full time that entire time, but that gives me perspective in a way that maybe I wouldn't have if I'd taken a different path. So, like,
Yeah,
just trusting that, like, the right clients will come to me.
I get that. I think that takes a lot of years of experience though, to have that wisdom to say, I'm gonna put the brakes on something, in terms of work. Cause I imagine, getting new clients and stuff can kind of be addicting, because it's like, oh, this is work that I love to do. So I just got to do it more. Right. And you're building these relationships. So you're really lining things up to where you're not just doing the work for the client, but it's the relationship you're getting from it because it expands like the whole thing with Francisco, right? Through him, you met Chad with eight, and then you're meeting other coffee shops and all of this stuff. So I can see how wanting to get more clientele and those relationships can be addicting, but it takes a lot of wisdom and a lot of courage to say, "Hey, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to put this on the side a bit, focus on this because this is the priority." But so, props to you. And yeah, we did speak a lot before, with how the fertility journey has been for you and Nate over the last few years, and I don't know how much you want to talk about that, but we can get into it as much as you want. um, I do want to talk though about the. I don't know if you're open to talking about this either, but when I approached you and told you I was doing the podcast, you had mentioned you were thinking about doing something in a similar capacity, right? Like a podcast of your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I I think because, like, I have, like, a million things going on at once, like, sometimes I'll have an idea, but I won't really know, like, where it's supposed to go. Um, I think that's, like, my creative process, like, an idea will come to me and I have to figure out where it's supposed to go. Um, a lot of people have been asking me to be part of their podcasts, and, like, ever since, like, podcasts became more popular, like, around, like, 2020, I've kind of been on a lot of podcasts.
Awesome.
Um,
Yeah.
but it's funny because, like, I was the interviewer before, like, for years, I worked at PDN as a reporter, and, like, literally my day-to-day is to interview people. And it was really cool because I got to pick a lot of the time. Like, I'm like, "Oh, this person's cool. This person's an artist," or, like, "This person's really good at what they do. I wanna talk to them. I wanna get paid to talk to you."
Yeah.
Um, and then, like, sometimes we do video too, which is really cool. And, that was a skill that I had to build too. Like, at first, I was like, literally typing the whole time, like, everything they were saying, or, like, I'd be, like, writing notes like crazy, but, like, other mentors of mine taught me just, like, "No, just, like, put the notes down, like, just be in the moment, and, like, you'll absorb what was important, and you'll know
Yeah. If
what
you're
to
paying
write."
attention enough, yeah.
Yeah, and, like, just being present, and, like, I feel like that's, like, a lot of what podcasting is. So after I was the interviewer for so long, like, people weren't asking me stuff about myself, but then after I'd done that for a while and then I built my own projects, people started asking to interview me, and, I as much as I do love talking about myself, I love listening to people and, like, hearing about their stories, and, like, I like to, like, play it back to them, and, like I said before, that's, like, a gift I think that I like to offer people. Um, and I do have fun being on people's podcasts. I love being here. Like, obviously, we've been talking for, like, 2 hours,
Yeah.
but, like, I also want to create a space, and, like, other people have been telling me, like, "You should create a podcast of your own where you, like, have space for, the conversations that you wanna have." And, I think I was telling you that I might wanna call it, like, flow with the current, but I'm finding that that also is, like, an idea that I'm not really sure if that's where it's supposed to go. I changed I made my, username for my yoga account CBH Yoga, because I was like, "Oh, I like that," because like, I called my, like, little marketing business, like, CBH Media.
Cool.
Um, but I'm, like, basically scripting aloud what I would say in a YouTube video where I teach yoga, and I was, like, basically trying to say it aloud, like, "Hello, welcome to CBH Yoga," and I was like, "Ugh, sounds it's, like, grating on the mouth, like, CBH Yoga."
Yeah. It
Like,
doesn't flow off the tongue as
yeah.
well as you'd like it to. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's it hurts my nose to say, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it does not roll off the tongue. So I changed it actually to flow with Chloe
I like that.
because that literally flows off the tongue. Like, it
Yeah.
like flow with Chloe.
And
That sounds
you
nice.
you
And
changed you're talking about the yoga name or the
Yeah, so I
podcast?
changed the yoga one to that. We'll talk a little bit more about why flow makes sense like later, but maybe it will be flow with the current. But that's what I was thinking about. First, I was thinking about making a podcast where I talk with like women because like I know a lot of cool women in my life who um are like really accomplished in their fields, or maybe not even just so much of accomplishments, but like what they offer like as a friend or as a person or like to their community. But after a while, I was like, I mean, it doesn't have to like be only women. Like, I'd love to talk to you. Like, I think that this work that you're doing is really cool. And I think maybe like 5, 6 years ago, I used to think more in terms of like, it's women and like this is a space for women because I think that's actually where we were more in society at the time. At least for me and like women, because like I think for most of like human civilization, like there wasn't really like space for like women to be like leaders. Yeah, so, like, I think it made sense that we went, like, to a correction where we're like, "It's women, it's about women,"
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
and I do think that there should be spaces for women, but at the same time, I do feel like I have a lot of cool, like, friends who are also men or who are, like, non-binary who I would like to talk to, like, about
Yeah,
things
just
with.
people in general, not, specific people, just everybody, right?
Yeah, totally, and I'd like to have, like, a space for that, but I'm still trying to figure out, like, what, the focus would be because like, I really like how thoughtful you were about enjoy your stay. And you really honed in on like what the theme would be and what you want to talk to people about. Um, and I think you were super thoughtful about that. And I like love all the work that you put into it and about how like it can potentially be like more like a lifestyle brand like at large.
Yeah, yeah,
So there's so
definitely
much
expanding
room
into,
with
like,
that.
clothing and all that, yep.
Yeah, but I haven't done the work to grind down on that and figure out what I wanna do, because I've been trying to hone in on the yoga project so much right now because it's, like, a timed thing. So, part of me probably before I would've been like, "Oh, I haven't done it, and, like, I am not on where I wanna be," but at the same time, I'm like, there's time for everything, like, uh even if I'm not where I wanna be right now, I do feel confident that eventually I will have you on that podcast, whatever that's gonna look like.
Yeah,
Um, Because I love to talk and, like, I love to hear people's stories.
yeah,
So, it's mostly been about me right now, but I would love to open the space for, like, you that whole episode.
appreciate that, yeah, no, that's definitely what I enjoy about this podcast or about, doing it is I I love listening to people. I love getting to know them more, and it kinda serves, multiple purposes, right? I think it's nice that people can talk about themselves and their story, right? Kind of their origin story, if you will. And then at the same time too, being offline for all these years and kinda getting back into it, I've missed connecting with people. And so it's
Mm.
catching up with people, seeing how they're doing, and you and I, even though I've been offline, we've chatted, throughout the years and stuff, and just get caught up in what we're doing, but I like this because it gives me a chance to really go and dive deep into whatever, you know, they're into, but then also too, it's nice because the questions that I do ask in terms of the podcast, right, like, what does a good life look like to you? What do you think a good day looks like? It does give the interviewee, like a chance to just pause and reflect on, yeah, what does my life look like? Like, this is where it's led up to now, but like, where does it go from here? You know what I mean? Like, what does now through the end look like? And it's nice to have that space. And this is only going to continue to grow, I hope. And, with having guests such as yourself that are, very, in my mind, very accomplished, very, out there. It gives me an opportunity to grow as well because this is really uncomfortable. Um, but I like just like the whole putting the marketing thing aside for a bit to focus on, kids. You're doing the same thing with the podcast. Yeah, it's a great idea, right? It's a wonderful idea, but the yoga thing is time sensitive, like you said. It's also something that you're very passionate about as well, and it does play a big part because physically, mentally, all that stuff, it helps you. Um, so good. Talk to me a bit more about Magahaga Rising. I know you've done that years ago, but
Yeah.
I never really got into talking to you about how it started, who you start. I knew it was you and was it Francesca, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, talk to me about
let's see. So, funny thing actually, uh, I will be working for a company and I'll have an idea for them, but sometimes they don't like it. And then I'll have to take that idea somewhere else. Like recently, my last job, I came up like the sensors that we made, it was called like Clio sensors. And I was like, let's make like a subscription service where it's called Club Clio. And then you join Club Clio and it's like a cool thing. And then like some of my higher ups were like totally shit on me. They're like, nah, that sounds stupid.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right.
Yeah.
This idea is mine though, and I'm gonna take it somewhere else. So then that's how I came up with like I don't know if you saw like my bachelorette, like I made like Club Chloe.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, you've been off of social media, so you might not have seen that. But basically,
Well,
for my
I've gone
bachelorette,
back.
I like
Yeah.
okay, yeah, you
Yeah.
went
Yeah.
a little backstock,
Catching up.
but
Yep. Yeah.
yeah, so like I made like t-shirts that said like Club Chloe, and then I made like keychains, and like I created like a vibe where it was almost like you're part of this club, and I wrote like this like cute letter to everybody about how like even like all my friends are from different places and like the people in my life, but like you'll always be part of like my club, and like you'll always
Yeah.
like I always like love to know what you're doing and like keep up with you, and like it's almost like a space in our minds, or like it's like an imagination type of thing. um and then I wanted to like make like a newsletter. I don't know, that was like a whole idea. Like I love ideas and like getting excited. um and so for Mega Haga Rising, like this is a little touchy of a subject, but basically I was working for Guampedia for a bit, and we were editing the Woman in Guam History book. And that was really exciting, and I was super happy to be part of it. And as part of the marketing for it, we were going to make a t-shirt that said like um Woman in Guam History, or like something about Famalawan Guahan. And I was like, um, let's make the t-shirt. Have you ever seen like the Future is Female t-shirt? It's like an iconic like t-shirt design from like the 70s. But
Think
it's
so.
like a
Yeah.
feminist. It's basically like the shirt that we made, but
Yeah.
like it was like yeah, so it was really iconic. And I was like, let's make that but for this, and then we'll use this shirt to market the book. People are gonna love it.
Oh. Okay.
And then my boss at the time was like, no, like that's not a good idea for
Really?
this project. Yeah, and I was like, especially me when I was younger, I was like, no, like I'm gonna make my idea. Like this needs to go somewhere.
This is gonna
It's
work.
not gonna
Yeah.
go here, it's gonna go somewhere.
Hmm.
'Cause like just once I get an idea, I think that's like a creative thing. Like if you have an idea, it has to live somewhere. I don't know where it's
Yeah.
gonna live. I
Hmm.
have to find a home for it, like a form,
Yeah.
but I know it needs to get made.
It's got to come out for sure.
Whether yeah, it's gotta come out. It actually cost me my job.
Really? Over at Guampedia?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
man. Okay.
Yeah, they didn't like that. Like
Like they didn't like it y- like so
okay,
much
okay,
that
wait,
they.
let me back up.
Okay.
Let me
Yeah.
back up. So, okay, I was like, this has got to go somewhere. I got to make this. It's got to be something. This can't die here. This can't die in this meeting. Um, so they went ahead and made a design with a different artist, and that the team wanted that made sense for that project. So cool. I helped them out with that. Like I was supportive of that. I helped with the marketing campaign to like put it out there, and I helped sell them in person. Um, but it was really difficult for me, especially when I was younger, to not have control over something creatively. Like if I felt like it should be a certain way, I did not like it if like I couldn't do it my way. So like I realize as I'm older that like you can't really just do that. Even my grandma was like, yeah, like sometimes even if it's like if it's in a group setting, like you can't always do things your way. And I was like, I don't know about that. So I
Watch me.
told
Watch me.
yeah, bet. Like, okay, grandma, bet. So me and my friend Francesca, I told her about this idea, and I was like, we need to make this t-shirt. Like, the future is Famalawan. Like, it would be really cool. Even if it's just me and you, let's just make two. Let's just make two at like a Ganya shopping center. We'll literally make two shirts, and then we'll put them on. We'll shoot a little campaign, and we'll see who's interested. Like,
Yeah.
we
If
also
it
had like a
lasts,
create. Yeah, Valens. We also had a creative relationship for a really long time. Like we'd been friends since like 2011 or 2012. We like met on Tumblr, even though we're both from Guam,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
also to date myself. Um, so yeah, we were creative friends for a long time. We actually came up with Love Screwed together, and
Oh, okay.
it was a group thing at first. Like me and her would write, but eventually it just ended up becoming my thing. And because I think I was more into writing, so I just was doing it so much that eventually she like just stepped back and was like, "Yeah, this is like your thing." And she has her own creative projects that she would do. Um, so we were still friends, and I love to share like ideas with her. And I was like, "We should make this shirt." So we literally got it made. We got it made at like some random shop in a Ganya shopping center where they just print a T-shirt for you that day. So we put the shirts on. She brought her like Chamorro jewelry, and we literally just went to the Guam Museum and took pictures on our phones of each other wearing the shirt in jeans, super cash. And we just posted and we're like, the future is Famalawan. Like this is like when Leon Guerrero was getting elected as like our first governor, female governor on Guam. And it was a huge deal at the
Oh, that
time.
really
Like it
came
was a
in at the perfect time then. Yeah.
yeah, and I think we were inspired by that. So we were like, the future is women. And like I was saying before, like this is like the time for women to like step into our power and like come back out of like the colonial like culture and mindset that we have been part of for decades. So like coming back to like matrilineal roots on Guam, like that's part of Chamorro culture. So like the women were the head of the family in different ways than are today. Um or like maybe not just today, but like in like society, Chamorro society for the past like several decades, or hundreds of years. So then we put that out, and a lot of people were interested. People were like, "Let me buy this shirt." And we were like, "All right." So we took like orders for so many different people. So many people were interested on island, off island Chamorros, and we're like, "Oh shit, we did not anticipate that it was going to
Yeah,
be this big of
what do
a
we
demand."
stumble into? Yeah.
Yeah, totally. We're just like, "Oh, people love this shit." So like then we started like we're like, "Okay, well, we gotta make more." So, like, we took so many orders, we, like, made, like, thousands, and, like,
The t-shirts.
yeah, and we sold them, like, so fast, and, like, people would, like, pick them up in person, and, like, we shipped them off island, and we were like and then Guampedia did not like that.
Oh, so wait, so during
Um,
this time when you put out the stuff, the photo shoot with you and Francesca, you were still at
I was
Quampedia?
still working at Guampedia, yeah, but I was like, "Well, they don't want this idea. Let me just do something with it on my own because
Yep.
it's my idea." But then the leadership at the time, didn't like that I took an idea and ran with it and made it so that it could be in competition with the T-shirt that they were making for the Women in Guam History book. And, basically, it was like the way that they saw it was that I created a competitive, um,
Just to
product that would get in the way with the job that I had. Um, at the time, I personally didn't see it like that. I was like, I think on Guam, there's plenty of room for everybody to succeed. And like, just because you buy one T-shirt doesn't mean that you can't buy two T-shirts.
yeah, it's that goes back to
And
that
like,
scarcity mindset.
yeah, and like I had an abundance mindset where like I love supporting different businesses on Guam. I will buy from literally everyone who I think is cool and like has like a cool product and like that I can get behind and like support local artists and an organization. So I really didn't see it that way at the time. Although now that, 6 years have passed, I could see where they're coming from. Um, and, like, I am still kind of embarrassed that, like, young, headstrong Chloe was like, "I'm gonna fucking make this happen," even though it cost me that relationship. And, eventually I didn't work with them anymore. And, sometimes I kind of regret how that went down. Maybe I would have had a better professional relationship there if I hadn't been so headstrong to start my own project my own way.
Yeah. Do
But,
you think
hindsight is 2020 and it's youth.
yeah, yeah, we're young and dumb. Do you think if you weren't as headstrong though, right? If you had the insight that you do now, do you think it would have been made?
It's hard to say because, like, I couldn't like, I just had the brain I had then, and I had the spirit I had then, so, like, I don't think it would've gone down any other way, honestly. Like, I don't think I would've shut it down because, like, as a creator, there's just, like, such a compulsion that I had to make this idea, like, it had to be made, and, like, in some ways, I don't think it's even me. It's, like, the spirit of, like, an idea. Like, one way or another, it's gonna get made, and, like, for better or for worse, for my professional relationship and like, personal relationships, it it needed to get made at the time, and, like, the governor wore that shirt, like, at really important, like, inaugural celebrations, and, like, we have pictures of us wearing it with her, like, in front of the Guam Congress building and, like, at women, empowerment events, like, that became like, I'm getting goosebumps talking about it now, but that became the symbol. Like, all around the world, women would wear this shirt, like, Chamorro women would wear this shirt all around the world and, like, post pictures of themselves at, like, boss stuff, like, they'd be, like, working at museums or, like, working in DC, like, working in medical professions, like, all kinds of people everywhere, and, like, children, we made it for children. Like, it became such a symbol of, like, Chamorro women empowerment, and, like, I don't think anything could have stopped me, and I'm glad it didn't. Like, I'm sorry for the way it happened and, like, that it ruffled feathers, but, it needed to get made. And, from there, it sparked so much excitement for this kind of movement that we were like, "Okay, we gotta build on this momentum, like, what's next?" Another popular thing at the time, we, were inspired by, like, the Black girl magic, like I don't know if I would say a movement, but, like, it was, like, a thing for, the Black women, like, in their community, like, Black girl magic, and, maybe I feel a little regretful at the possibility of, like, co-opting, something from, like, another culture, but I wouldn't say that, like, we pretended that we made it up and that, like, we invented this
It was
concept.
your
I
thing.
think it was more like it was a similar like, I was inspired by that and, like, Black women's empowerment movement and created something similar, but, like, with a different design.
Paying homage
Um
to them, that culture.
Yeah, and then, like, doing it in our own style, and, like, we took inspiration from, like, vintage Chamorro designs and, like, Francesca textured, like, the typography to look, like, a little bit more worn and distressed, even though it was, like, just screen printed. Um, we chose colors that, like, were reflective of, like, Chamorro nature, or, like, Mariana's nature elements, like, we use, like that red is, like, the color of, like, Spondylus or, like, a Choti, or, like, that orange red color that we used, and then, like, the cream colored t-shirt was, like, inspired by, like, sand and then, like, Hema shell, and then, like, the blue on the text was, like, inspired by, like, the ocean, so we were inspired by the general movement and that idea, but then we used it and interpreted it in a way that made sense for, like, Chamorro women or, like, Islander women. Um, and then, like, Francesca made a really cool website that, like, reflected that our brand and, like, the style, and, like, the organic nature of it, and we worked with so many cool different, friends of ours to shoot the campaigns themselves, like Shannon and Siobhan McManus, we worked with them to, um, model the clothes and shoot it in their own way, like, um, I think they shot it at, like, the marina, like, in Agana. I think, I mean, this is, like, a while ago, but I think they shot some of it in Agate. Um, and they have such, like, a dreamy, poetic photography style, and it was just really cool getting to collab with all these different women. We had, like Francesca had her friends who, like, they went surfing at the time, um, like Colette and Veronica. Um, they modeled our shirts while they were surfing, like, in
That's
Talafofo
cool.
Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, like, I obviously, like, was really happy with like the modeling done like on Guam, but I also wanted to capture that like in California because like I live in California and like a lot of tomorrow's like off island like live in like the West Coast, like including you. Um so we wanted to create like this like not just on Guam, but like tomorrow's
Really
abroad too.
expand it
So like
to everybody, right?
yeah, like we all we're tomorrow, but we don't all live on Guam and like we're all islanders, but we live around the world. So I got Nate to just shoot my pictures on my phone, like, at, like, a cool, like, outdoor, shopping center, like, around here that's, like, um there's, like, a lot of art installations there, so I just got him to shoot me just, like, around this area, um, and then, like, posting those photos, and then I would, like, do, like, flat lays of, like, the shirts, like, with all my, like, Chamorro items and, like,
Yeah,
shells
like
that I collected
accessories
and,
and
like,
stuff.
jewelry. Yeah, exactly. So, like, it could be like, you're not only Chamorro if you're, like, on Guam or, like, in the Marianas,
Tomorrow's not
or,
a
like, you're not only an
location.
islander.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, like yeah, no, that's such a great way to phrase it, and then also not even just Chamorros, like, Palauans, like, Pohnpeians, like, Hawaiians, um, like, Micronesian, Melanesian, um, Polynesian, so, like, it was not just we didn't want it to only be, like, Chamorro women, and we wanted to be, like, islander women at large because, like, there is, like, such a special, like, magic to islander women that, like, is you can't replicate it, and it's difficult to explain, but, like, if you know type.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
You can just feel that energy, that presence for sure.
yeah, and you know, your wife is an island girl. You know the
Is
magic.
she's an island girl and I'm an
She
island boy.
crawls. Yeah.
Yeah, oh my gosh, I really hope that was in
I
the
hope we
frame.
get that shot.
For those if it wasn't in the frame, for those that don't know, earlier in the podcast, Jazz came over from the gym, my wife, and crawled on the floor to get across so she wasn't in the frame, not knowing that she might possibly sit
That
in the
she might
frame
actually be in the
on the
frame,
floor,
yeah, so I hope
which
we got
makes
that
it even
shot.
more hilarious. Yeah.
She's the
So
realist.
yeah, so in post, if I catch it, I'll clip it and I'll definitely use it to promote the
Yeah,
podcast.
we'll put it in right here.
Exactly. Um, all right. Well, man, Chloe, we've talked about a lot. We've talked about yoga, art. We've talked about marketing. Mag Auto Rising. Just so much. I think it's definitely a good time to bring it in. I do want to say,
Yeah.
man, I really appreciate you giving me the opportunity to talk to you. I know you've said you've been on the podcast, so deciding to be on mine and agreeing to be on it is an honor for sure. We'll definitely catch up a bit more too, doing another episode, and looking forward to everything going on. Why don't you tell everybody where they can find you and what you got going on in the near future?
Okay, yeah, thank you again, Joe, for having me here. Obviously, me and you love to talk. We could talk for, like, literally hours, and we have. So yeah, good place to pull it in here, but, yeah, moving forward, you can follow me, Ate Chloe. We'll tag it on the pod
Yeah,
or
it'll all be
on
on the show
Instagram.
notes for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you can tag me there. Follow me on Instagram. Moving forward, I am gonna have a yoga account, but I will post that from my main account when I feel comfortable. So you can all follow me there too and see my yoga journey. And I hope to be teaching classes in California and then hopefully on Guam too. And planning to make videos so people can access some of my classes online as well. Hopefully, I will be having Joe on a podcast and we can take turns whenever that'll be. Hopefully, I'll be making more art and talking about that with Joe as I go along. Hopefully, I will have a family and also share about that and my journey. But in the meantime, like, I am okay just being in progress as we both are. And yeah, thank you so much, Joe, for having me.